connection, so maybe I can't do the... All right. Well, maybe it says I'm streaming. I don't know. Let's find out here real quick. Let's see if I am streaming.
I'm going to go look on Twitch.
Gotta love technology. All right.
I can't remember this
streaming
even
there.
David Ladd part.
I clicked the button that says watch stream, and all I see is a white screen.
No, that's not it. That's that. We're streaming on...
We're not on Twitch.
We're not on Twitch?
Not on Twitch.
Seem to be on YouTube.
We are
okay, we're on Twitch now.
We're on Twitch now. Okay. All right. So for better or for worse, we are definitely live. And we're going to start the official show here in just a moment. But meantime, we'll share it out in a few places.
Wait a minute. This is Coco After Dark, and it has an official show?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. So we'll share it out in the TR80 Coco group. All right. All right. So we're sharing. Sharing is caring, as we say. Let me click on it so we can see it. Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And how do I mute that? We're muting that. That's muted. Okay. So if anybody happens to live chat, we'll hopefully see it. Coco Man's in the live chat. All right, I think we're live. We're going to go ahead and cue the intro. This is the first time we've done a CoCoTALK After Dark in quite some time. So let's go ahead and do this right. Live from Discord, it's CoCoTALK After Dark. Lock up your daughters and your liquor cabinets because we are out and we're ready to rumble. All right, or something like that. There you go. All right, so we're live. We're here. It's the main scene. It's the main screen. I can stop sharing that now so you guys can hear that. All right, so we're here by popular demand by, I believe it was at least one person, which makes it a popular demand. But somebody today had the really bright idea that says, hey, why don't you guys do an After Dark? And here we are. It's way past my bedtime, but we're here because our fan demanded it, that one person, and we're here. It's After Dark, and we're doing it on Discord, which means it's easier to join us. This is not on Zoom. So if you're on our Discord server, just pop in and say hi. Speaking of saying hi, let's say hi to who's with us right now. Mark Overholzer is here. Did I say Mark Overholzer? I did. See, I've already started drinking. I started drinking before the show. My glass is halfway needing a refill. But Mark Bosley is here. Hey, Mark B, how you doing?
Hey, Luke. Hey, is it a good sign, bad sign? My high score for this week's Game On Challenge is 2020.
The apocalyptic score. Yes.
You need to get two more. You need to get 2 more points, so it's 2022.
There we go. And Rick Hewlin is. By the way, Mark B, for those who don't know you, which shame on them for not knowing you, but what part of the world do you hail from, or do you reside in, anyways? There, Mark B.
Right about in the middle of the country, Oklahoma City.
Oklahoma. All right, and Oklahoma is okay with me. All right, and then we got another fine-looking gentleman here. See, some of us are on cameras, and then some of us are not, and probably for good reason. But we also have Rick Hewlin with us in the house. How you doing, Rick? You?
Pretty good. Howdy, folks.
And what part of the country are you currently calling home?
This would be Milwaukee.
Milwaukee. Is that near Mutual of Omaha?
I haven't seen any Wild Kingdom near here, but
okay. All right. We got from my original hometown of Miami, Florida. Barry Nelson is with us. Hey, Barry, how you doing?
I'm still trying to figure out the how part. Plato, Aristotle. They've all been trying to figure that out for a long time. So I'm still puzzling over that myself. But definitely doing.
All right. We have the Thunder from Down Under from Australia. Nicholas Marentes is here. Good eye, Nick. How are you?
I'm all right. Good eye.
Good eye. And what time is it for you in the future in Australia?
It is 11 18 on Sunday morning.
Sunday morning.
Or
All right. And what were tonight's
almost midday.
winning lottery numbers again?
7, 32.
Yes, and we have the Slayer, Paul Thayer, is with us. Redbeard, how you doing, Paulie?
What's up? I'm doing well, thanks.
And Paul, where are you at? What part of the
I
country?
am in Grand Rapids, Michigan.
Michigan, man.
Almost to Rick Euland.
Almost. All right. We got a guy who likes to play Daggerath like that idiot from the book. Tim is here. Tim Lindner. How are you, Tim?
Doing pretty good, Stevie.
And where are you at now?
Thanks for having me.
You relocated. Where'd you move to?
I am near Portland,
Near Portland.
Oregon.
Oregon. And Eric's here. Eric Canales. How you doing, Eric?
Hey, this isn't the Disney Pixar group, is it?
It is. It is. It actually is.
Oh,
Yeah.
great. Hey, how you doing?
Now, Eric, you're somewhere in the suburb of Chicago, in Illinois, greater
No,
Illinois
I'm
area?
in Chicago proper, just on the outskirts.
Oh, Chicago proper, as opposed to Chicago improper.
Ooh, that
Yeah.
sounds good.
Chicago proper. You know what I had? Oh, you know what? So speaking of Chicago, it was Friday. I was at a client's and we ordered lunch from someplace that was they had an Italian beef sandwich like Portello's, and which is a Chicago thing, you know, for those of you guys who've been there. But this is like a really good restaurant, and I've never had the Italian beef at Portello's when I go there to Chicago. So this is my first time having Italian beef, and I gotta say it was pretty damn good. So, boom, there you have it.
So we have somebody from Chicago here, so he has like no excuse not to attend the upcoming Coco Fest.
And he's the treasurer and the webmaster.
Ah,
Yes,
And
Eric
this is
and-
the rarest of all beasts, a Chicagoan that's actually from Chicago.
right. That's like I'm a Floridian
Not
who lives in Florida.
Addison or,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, they tend to rope in everybody who lives around there.
Why do I have a thing about community standards on my thing? Oh, I guess if I tried to chat in my live stream on Facebook, it warned me about community standards. Well, you guys, yeah, community standards. You got the wrong guy on the wrong show if you're worried about community standards.
Hey, two or three words and you're banned for life.
I got your community standards right here.
this community has standards.
Yeah, we all got standards.
They're just very low.
So some of you, because Barry, you know, I've known Barry for like 5 years now, and I met Barry at a Chicago Coco Fest, not knowing he lived in Miami, you know, 2 hours from where I live now and where I was born and raised. But for those of you who don't know Barry here in the panel, which is, does anybody here not know Barry? Raise your hand if you don't know Barry. Okay, Rick, you don't know Barry?
No.
All right, so Barry, tell Rick and anybody who doesn't know that much about you a little bit about what you've done back in the day and what you're doing now, and Barry was on our early episodes when we first started the show, and now we're on episode 250. So Barry's been no stranger to our show either. So yeah, tell us about yourself there, Barry Nelson.
Well, probably one of the best things I'm known for in this day and age in the Coco community is having responsible for the inventor of the SCART to the RGB to SCART to HDMI interface, which is now known as the switcheroo by the folk that the person that mass produces it, which is not me. I invented it, but I am not going to burn my fingers on my soldering iron making tons of these things.
All right, Barry
So
came
I
up
leave
with the
that-
design.
I leave that to other people to do. Thank you very much. If anybody else wants to make it, they're welcome to it. I've got the stuff out there on Hackaday on the website. The other thing that
I built mine off of your plans.
Now, did you update your plan to include the resistors or whatever else was needed to fix the color burst too?
yes, I did. It works without that. Mine still doesn't have those capacitors and resistors added, and mine works just fine with the adapter that I'm working with. But for those people, I've been hearing multiple reports that it works better with those, and I've added a note on the plans indicating to add 3 resistors and 3 caps into the cable to smooth the signal out a little bit. And I have reports that it produces an even better picture with that.
Yeah, it does. It cleans it up.
So, yeah. So I don't know. Maybe the adapter I'm using for or SCART to HDMI in my case handles that signal a little bit better than some other ones. But I have yet to add that because I haven't needed to. I got a very sharp picture as it is, but I added those notes to the plan to include those components. The other thing I'm known for in this day and age is the helping design and writing the software along with my two daughters for the Coco Flash, which is a Coco multi-cart interface that stores the Coco SDC stores and emulates floppy disks. The Coco Flash emulates cartridges. Okay,
It's a Jim Brain production.
Yep. So I worked with Jim to write software for that and collaborated with him a little bit on the hardware. It was my idea to add the digital to analog converter that he's got in that cartridge so it can emulate the Orchestra 90 cartridge. And I also suggested to add some of the bank switching capability that's in there, which we got working, which allows it to, it's the only cartridge I know of that you can program in a 64K, a 128, or 256K game cartridge into, and it will actually run it because it has the bank switching capability in there. The Coco SDC has limited capability to do, cartridges, but it's designed mainly for floppy disks. So it does 8 cartridge images up to 16K, and that's it. The Coco Flash doesn't do floppy disk emulation at all. It does cartridge emulation and can handle dozens and dozens of cartridges.
Something in the neighborhood of 1,000 because it's got 8 megs of flash RAM on there. Yeah, your audio is breaking up a little bit there, Barry. I'm going to put you on pause for just a second because we've been joined by Kevin Holloway. Kevin, are you here and are you muted or do you have a mic? We'll see if Kevin can come in. So Kevin is one of the people who, when we do our Saturday show, he's early in the live chat. So Kevin's out there early. And I didn't know till later on that Kevin has a connection with David Ladd. So Kevin is in the same local computer club that David's in. So that's how Kevin knows David or David knows Kevin. And unfortunately, he watches our show and he even tunes in early for our show. So I wanted to say hi to Kevin because I don't think I ever have.
I don't think I've ever been early. Even I think I'm always late every time I've joined your show. But hey, whatever.
and Sarah's out there. Jason's better half. Sarah's in the live chat on Facebook. Hey Sarah, if you're still out there, hello there. So hopefully Kevin, you can unmute. And so I don't know what the hell we're going to talk about, but we're here. Somebody said do an After Dark. Somebody said do the show. We're here. All I know is it's past my bedtime, but I have alcohol and it's good. So life is good.
I think it's working. I got one more thing and I'll shut up and let out some other people. You're the one that asked the question. You asked me to tell about my project.
Yes,
so
I did.
Now you
All
opened the Pandora's box there.
Yes, I did. I certainly did. I apologize, Mr. Nelson. Please continue by all means.
So the other thing that I'm doing and continue to do is I'm one of the maintainers for the MAME code base, multiple arcade machine emulation. So I help maintain and I produce patches and stuff for that code base, and I compile binaries for that for the Mac platform whenever possible. Which, by the way, I'm having a little bit of an issue with right now. I could actually use a volunteer to do some testing because I want to test some of my Mac binaries on a Mac that is using the Apple M1 chip, which I don't have. So
I do not either.
If anybody out there has an Apple M1, I would like to send them a copy of my main binary and see if it runs and if it works correctly. So, but anyway, I maintain that code base. I apply patches to it, and generally poke at the rest of the people in the developer team when I know an issue.
Well, Tim Lindner's here. He's definitely one of the developer teams.
Yep, Tim definitely knows me, and my binaries for Mac are on his website.
Mm-hmm.
Macmess.org.
Macmess, shameful plug. Cool. All right, Barry. Well, thanks. And Kevin Holloway, if you can hear us and you can unmute, say hi while you're out there. And hey, Polly, are you going to regale us with some musical stylings this evening, Redbeard? He's on mute. And we're getting joined by Terry Steggy, I think, here. Bless his heart, Terry, if you're there. And I don't know if I introduced myself, but I need no introduction. But I'm a man of many, many talents, most of them imagined. Some of them are medicated. But I hail now from Port St. Lucie, Florida, originally from Miami, Florida. The man, the myth, the legend, in his own mind, Stevie Stroh, here with you all. And Terry Steggy, bless your heart, are you out there? Terry, you got a copy on me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me, Stevie?
I hear you, Terry. Bless your heart. I hear you.
Well, bless your heart.
Bless your heart, Terry. Thanks for joining us.
The blank video box speaks.
Yes, it does. It does. And Barry, you were around with us when we started this show eons ago, and we started off pretty much as a very free form, stream of consciousness type show, and we've over time have gained structure and whatnot. But do you have any recollections from the early days of doing CoCoTALK, or was that too long ago for you, Barry, to even remember?
Oh, I remember, but there's lots of too much stuff to really talk about all on here. I remember I remember I still have the source code for my color computer terminal program which is the other thing I'm known for in the community. I wrote the XCOM 9 terminal program for OS 9 Level 2.
Oh, Curtis Boyle's now asking, Curtis watching us live on Twitch, Terry Steggy wants to know, did you find out anything about that TDP 100 that they were talking about on the news last week?
Yeah, I got it tore open, and it does look like it was an original production unit, but looks like they modified it to maybe test the waters for a TDP. So I'm going to work on a video for that, and I was kind of bummed I wasn't able to get on today, but I will show that. It's kind of cool machine.
Cool. Bless your heart, Terry. Glad you can make it tonight.
So you think it's a pre-production TDP?
What was that, Eric?
So you're saying it's a pre-production TDP?
It's like they used a white Coco 1 and were like practicing with it or something. It does have some markings on the inside that I have like 4 other Model 1s that do not have those markings. So I'm not sure what they were doing, but it's kind of cool.
Awesome.
But it's a legit Tandy product and not some Frankenstein cobbled together thing that somebody else made after the fact, right?
As far as I can tell, I mean...
Yeah, no, that's cool.
The big giveaway is that label on it. It matches perfectly with the books and stuff that I have, but
right.
None of the other TDP logos look like that other than the books, so it's kind of different.
That's cool.
That's cool. That could be a very valuable machine.
Yeah, I'm kind of excited about it. I'll have to hopefully get my videos done on it. Sorry.
All right. Thanks for playing the video for our 250 special today, or for producing that for us, I should say.
Sure. Sorry, the sound was all messed up.
No, it wasn't on your end. It was on my end when I put it in OBS. I got it fixed now. So
we heard it on the panel.
Yeah, it just didn't go out of the stream. But no, it was cool. Thanks for doing that. We've been joined by Ken Waters in Canada. Oh, Canada. How we doing, Ken?
Good day, everybody.
Good day.
I am doing good.
This would be your first After Dark, Ken. I mean, this was
absolutely is. Is the mood good?
Your room is dark, so yeah. And I find the older I get, the darker I should be in. Yes. So the darker it is, the better I look, right? So well, good
looks
time.
just like the high score today.
Yeah. Same contrast, right? So oh Lord. I don't remember the first time we did an After Dark. Like everything else, the show started off as just a fluke, and it became a thing. After Dark started off as kind of like a fluke, and it became a thing for a while. And also in the live chat, David Craker's out there saying, "Good evening, playing some Sega Genesis with Josh while I listen." All right, Dave, thanks for being on the show today too. So we did After Darks, and I think at that time, because we were only streaming the main show on YouTube at that time. And so After Dark was something as an experiment that we just did on Facebook as a Facebook live stream. And like many things else too, it started off without a real plan or a structure or a format, and it got to be fun. And we probably did a good maybe dozen episodes over a year and a half, maybe 2 years. Steve Bjork was on a lot back then. Al Hartman from Jersey was on. With Al, conversations often turned to Bob Rosen and Zebra Systems, and then talking about fan fiction, fan-made Star Trek movies that he knew everybody in, and then talking about Star Trek and going down that rabbit hole. So we got a lot of geek sci-fi conversations and all kinds of non sequiturs of just stream of consciousness discussions. And it was fun, though. I think there was a good vibe. There was a good energy to it. They were fun to do. And just haven't done them in a while. And I can tell you, for me, it seems like it's only been 5 years, but I feel like I'm 50 years older than I was 5 years ago. But it's like, for me, I have a hard enough time doing a 4-hour show during the day. Now, God forbid, we're gonna do another 4-hour show at night. Get off my lawn. Who can do this? Who are these people? Right? So I'm usually ready to have dinner and go to bed by the time we finish our normal Saturday show. So it's just like, the fact I'm awake is a good thing. So maybe not. So, but matter of fact, I think the impetus of the Steve Bjork Assembly series started on After Dark one time. He was just kind of spitballing and talking about, how the processor worked and how to, have binary instructions or math. It was like real simple. He's trying to explain to me some simple stuff about the 6809. And that became the kind of seed that would germinate and become the whole assembly series that he did for us a few years ago. That started on After Dark. Hey, Sloopy. How we doing, Sloopy?
I'm all right. How you doing?
Good. You sound a little hoarse.
Yeah, when I left earlier, went to replace the clutch slave cylinder in my car. Overexerted myself and my back is killing me. So I went and laid down, and I'm still not feeling too good.
Wow, sorry to hear that, dude.
And then make matters worse, it wasn't the clutch slave cylinder that's bad, it's the master cylinder that's bad.
Oof.
Bummer. Well, note to self, don't overexert yourself.
Yeah, it doesn't take much.
Hey, Paul Thayer, can you hear us now?
Yeah. Sorry, I was having my Pall Mall.
I hear you. Are you going to regale us with any musical stylings live this evening?
So, I think I relearned the CoCoTALK theme song thing that I wrote, but okay. I need a little bit more practice.
Okay. Okay.
I'm forgetting. I keep forgetting the words and remembering them while I'm doing it. Right. So right. I'm like pausing or whatever. Yeah.
Do you want me to play it?
It's okay. For you this is time? Just a practice show, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
No, I mean I don't want to like have everybody watch it.
Okay, I hear you. So you're gonna be like off mic, muted, and just working it out, and then you'll just regale us with it in a little while.
Yeah, can you hear that?
Yeah. You might want to turn it up to 11 though.
Oh, my amp does go to 11.
This one goes to 11.
It didn't, but I painted a thing on there. That sure did. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, crank it up, man. Play some Skinner, man.
I'll let you know when I'm ready.
All right. Oh, shit. Speaking of, we got Nick Marotta twice in one day. Nick Marotta. Nick Marotta. How you doing, Nick?
Good. How are you?
Good, man. Twice in one day. You grace us with your presence.
That's right.
You're coming through a little muddy on the audio there.
Oh, it's my tablet.
How you doing? Somebody's got a really fluffy cat there.
Tim just went on cam. Hey, Tim.
Hey.
So, Tim, you said your rock star hair is even more luxurious now. Let's see the hair. Come on.
You want to?
Let's see the hair, Tim. Come on. Holy shit! Look at those locks. Wow. Holy shit!
That's some proper hair.
Look at that. You got
Wow.
some hair. You got some hair, son.
Yeah, I do.
It's Fabio.
Jesus.
Fabio. Friggin'
Hey,
Fabio.
Stevie,
Yeah.
can you send me that video in our chat? There's one line of the song I can't remember.
All right. Yeah, I got to figure out how to do that. Little technical challenge here. Can you send me? Let me find you. Actually, here. Let me just do that. You're in this chat right now, right?
Yes, sir.
So if I double click on you and I start messaging. All right, so I just started. I just opened up a DM with you, right? Okay, so let me do that.
Yes,
let me
sir.
see if I can find that video, and I'll just drop that son of a bitch right in there, because that's how we roll. Where the hell? Oh, you know what? I have this thing here pinned. Let's unpin you. I got to click on my little folder doohickey here. Here's my folder doohickey. All right, I'll find it. Who the hell's coughing in the background there? Jesus Christ! Tonight's episode brought to you by emphysema.
Hey, Ken.
All kinds
It's
of
not
people
even me, and
sneaking
I
in.
just had a cigarette.
Adding the name of the game to the announcement there would also be helpful.
Did I not put the
The
name on
name
there?
of the game. Who else has
No,
just
I don't
joined
want-
us? Jim Gary has joined us. Hey, Jim, how you doing?
You're starting to ask just too much of this game on challenge stuff.
Trying to figure this out.
I can't get over this Fabio Lindner. I'm looking at.
He is something else.
I can't believe it's
seen that hair.
Coco.
I think I've seen that hair on one of those paperbacks at the grocery store.
All right, Polly, I'm gonna try to. Oh, it says your file is too powerful. I can't.
Yeah,
I can't drag
that's
it into
right.
Discord. Can
Power. That's all right. I'll remember it. I just gotta work through it.
send me your Gmail address and I'll Google Drive it. Just put that in that little DM I sent you, and I'll Google Drive it over to you.
Yes, sir.
Cool. Hey, Jim, can you hear us?
Thanks for working your ass off for me, Steve. I appreciate it.
Yes, I can. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Oh, you're a little overmodulated there, but yeah, we hear you.
Okay.
Coming in hot, man.
Why will it not move?
Yeah, we got freaking Fabio Tim here. Look at that freaking hair, too. Are you a natural blonde, Tim?
No, this is a coloring.
Yeah. That was intentional sarcasm.
Sorry, my freaking life.
Say anything about the carpet or the drapes.
Yeah, I
I'm
was
just
being
glad.
ironic. Yes, I really do think. So cool. Who else is joining? Jim is joining. Jim, try talking again. Oh, he's muted.
Hi.
Hey, so Jim, if you ever feel a little down, all you can do is watch our show, because Curtis just loves talking you up, man. It's like the Jim
Where?
Gary
Let's
special.
do
All right, let me see if I can't send this over to Paul Thayer, the Slayer here. How do I do this now? I got to go to more options.
I think I'm forgetting something about Game On Challenge with Nick Marotta 3 times.
Nick Marotta.
Hello.
All right, so I just tried sharing it out to you with the Google Drive. Let me know if you got that.
Appreciate it, buddy.
Yeah, Nick, can you hear us, Nick Marotta?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, you sound really muted.
Faintly.
Hello, can you hear me now?
We can hear you. Yeah, it's not super clear, but we can hear you. Oh, Rick Adams is asking how to join. We're on Discord, Rick. Just jump over to Discord under the CoCoTALK section, and we're in there in After Dark voice channel.
I have a MAME-related, Coco-related announcement to make, by the way.
An announcement. Uh-oh. Is it pregnant? Is this a gender reveal?
I hope not. So, I recently, thanks to, I can't remember the gentleman's name, but he got a very unique color computer that he got, and we dumped the ROM out of it, and it's 100% compatible with the Color Computer 3, but it was manufactured in Mexico.
Mexico.
So it's a Mexican Coco 3.
Oh, that's a Spanish one?
It's Mexican. It was made in Mexico, and it has some most. So anyway, It has a different ROM and a different startup screen. I'll see if I can put the startup screen here on the screen.
We had found something not too long ago where somebody had this super duper ROM cartridge that was used in the schools or something like that too. Where so yeah, I guess there was some Mexican Cocos where they were doing stuff in the school system and stuff. That would be kind of cool, definitely, to see that.
Yeah, there was a Mexican Coco 2 ROM dump about 6 months ago that I added to MAME. So this is kind of interesting that Barry's surprising me with this.
So yeah, I added a Mexican Coco 3 ROM dump and added it as a computer definition in MAME and submitted it as an update. And I believe it has been added to the mainstream MAME at this point. So it is certainly in my branch that I maintain on GitHub. Where I have currently, it's a branch of version 2.2.4 that I apply my updates and fixes to, and then I update it from the main branch periodically. And it's definitely in there. And if you download it from there, I think there's a release there, and you can run it. You can cheat and just drop this ROM in. If you can get a copy of this ROM, you can drop the ROM in place of the regular Coco 3 ROM. And it will complain, of course, about the ROM check stuff not matching, but it will still fire up because the hardware is the same as the standard Coco 3, and so you can run it that way.
Interesting. And what is the difference, other than the different title screen? Is there anything else that's different about it?
The title screen is different. It's got 1 or 2 error messages that are in Spanish.
If anybody wants to hear some ASMR unwrapping, Mark Overholzer's got his microphone right next to his package there.
I'm sorry.
No,
it says I'm muted.
It lies.
Excuse me. So anyway, yeah, it's basically it's got a couple Spanish error messages in it, and it's got a really unique very colorful startup screen. As opposed to the regular color computer startup screen. Other than that, it pretty much is a regular Coco 3.
Okay.
And will run all Coco 3 software.
That's cool. Jim Gary is on video now. Hey, Jim. You're muted, but we see you.
Hi.
You're still coming in really hot on your audio. I don't know if you can drop that level down or not.
I don't know where I'd find that. I'll try.
Probably in Discord. You have to go into your Discord audio settings. Good luck with that, right? So it's probably a YouTube video on that somewhere. Legendary game designer Rick Adams has joined us. Hey, Rick, how are you?
I'm finally here. My goodness, I had to figure out how to join, and I had to figure out how to turn my camera on. And yeah, hello.
Well,
yes, it's that Rick Adams.
Yeah.
It's that. Yeah.
Rick Adams, have you seen Tim Lindner's rock star hair? Look at him here. He's got the whole Fabio do going on.
Where is who's what?
It looks like Pamela Anderson with a beard there in the red sweater there. So yeah.
I can't believe
Has somebody been watching Pam and Tommy?
Yeah, he's a hybrid of Pam and Tommy.
Holy cow! Is that for real?
That's Tim Lindner's hair. Yeah, look at that, man.
That's called a COVID dude.
All right.
Oh, rock on, man. Rock on, brother. Yeah, so Nick Marotta has been dethroned having the most luxurious hair.
I worked hard to become so.
I gladly abdicate that to you, Tim.
Yep.
All right, you still have the Canadian title.
And,
okay.
Jim Rye, how you doing, man? You got a haircut, didn't you?
Yeah. I got it buzzed off.
Yeah, good to see you,
Your
man.
hair's
myself, actually. COVID taught me how to cut my hair.
Yeah. Some people grew their hair, some people cut their hair. It's all good. So, Jim, how's your audio? Any better? Any worse?
It sounded all right.
No, Jim Geary. Hold on 1 second.
Oh.
Jim, try talking again. Now I can't hear you at all.
Well,
you definitely got rid of the distortion. And the whole idea of doing this in Discord was to make it easier than having to have everybody join Zoom. We see how well that worked out, right? So
Yeah, good work, Stevie.
Yes, and in the live chat we have Canadian Retro Things, Mr. James Different Daffer saying happy 250th episode. Thanks, Jim. Join us, Jim. You've been a part of this. You've been on After Darks, and Curtis Boyle says, I think you now have more people on the After Dark show than you had on the main show. That is definitely possible.
It might be because he's not on.
Yeah.
Oh!
Oh!
But all it took was some beer.
That's the last time I get any help with any of my code.
Oh, snap. Jason's here. Jason, how you doing? Is Sarah with you?
I left her at home.
Sarah went home?
No, she's at home. I'm just coming back from dinner with some friends, so I'm driving.
And you didn't bring her along.
Okay, so we have Tim's warming up for a musical styling. Rick, you want to do an impromptu Nightmare Highway live for us on the late show, on the late show?
I could try, I suppose. Let me go get my guitar.
There you go. We're gonna rock out tonight, boys and girls. We got Tim Lindner with the rock and roll hair. He can just bang his head while you guys are playing.
You're doing
That's all
local
I have
recording.
is rock and roll hair. Nothing else about me is rock and roll. That's for damn sure.
Hey, Stevie, and just for the record, Sarah declined to go, so.
Oh, okay.
He was invited.
Oh, we're getting a little, there we go.
You're recording this,
GNR
Stevie,
there.
aren't you?
I am not recording this because it crapped out again trying to do the two things at once. So I'll be able to download it hopefully from one of the streams hopefully I won't get boycotted on all the networks, right? So
Just download it quickly.
Can you hear me now?
yeah, I can hear you, Jim.
Am I coming in hot still?
A little bit, but it's fine. I'd rather just have it like that than have you fuss with it all the whole time. You're good. Hey, thanks for joining us, man. Thanks for all you do.
Can you hear Mike?
Yeah, I hear you, Rick.
Can you hear my guitar?
Crank it up. Turn it up to 11. Let's hear it.
Well, it's not electric.
All right, go ahead and try it. Everybody be quiet.
Can you hear it at all?
Play it.
I'm playing it.
Oh, no, then we can't.
Yeah.
Sounds like a noise gate might be turned on.
Put it right up to put it right up to your mic, man. That's what I got to do.
Yeah, like
I can hear it a little
that's
bit.
not going to work.
You know what it is that Discord likes to do a lot of audio cleaning of things to filter out background noise. So you might have to go into your Discord audio settings and turn off all of the noise reductions, noise cancellation, blah, 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 blahs in there. Because I think it tries to do that on purpose to focus just on voice, you know?
I would have to find all of that.
Yeah. If you could just show me where that one does that. Okay, so if you click on the little up and down arrow next to the microphone icon, you will see a thing that says voice settings.
Yes.
And
voice
then,
activity. Voice settings. There we go.
Yeah, so I would go to voice settings and turn off anything that sounded like it was good, like noise cancellation, echo removal, this and that and the other. So, and you might even want to change it from auto volume to manual and crank it up to 11. But let's see what I see here in mine. So you want to keep it on voice activity. You probably want to turn off noise suppression and echo cancellation and automatic gain control. You might want to turn that off. A few things like that. So yeah.
Is there a talent boost?
A talent boost.
Oh,
yeah.
wow.
Yeah, that reminds me of that reminds me of the old Gallagher bit. There's a knob that says brightness, but it doesn't seem to work.
So I'm sharing my screen. If anybody wants to see this Mexican Coco
hold on.
ROM.
Hold on. All right. So what I see right now is I see Discord. So I see you sharing.
Yes.
What stream?
Okay, there you go.
When I start it, it's going to come up and it's going to show the ROM startup screen, and then it's going to show my RGB DOS, and it's going to auto start something. So
right.
I wanted to have you ready. Are you ready to go?
I am showing your share, so the world will see this now. I'm not sure if the panel will see it, but the world will see it. Okay, now we see our warning about the wrong checksums, and now we see the Coco 3. One or more ROMs are incorrect. And program microsep site, RS-DOS 2.1, Microsoft Microware, and oh shit! And now you just jumped. Can you make it not go to the RGB DOS and stay on that first boot screen? Because I wanted to see that a little longer.
Well, let me see what I can do to accommodate that. So I'll have to basically.
But that was cool. That you were right. It was definitely a different startup screen than we're used to seeing.
Yeah, let me go here and I'll eject my my hard disk drive. That will cause it not to auto boot like that.
Okay.
So let me eject nitrous9.vhd, empty slot, and reset machine.
Reset machine. Boom. Here we go. Okay, so we got that error message. We got that. Okay, boom. Okay, so keep it here. Okay, now we're at our prompt. Okay, so Programa Microsep Siete. I am not a Spanish person, but RS-DOS 2.1, 1988 hard disk basic based on code in RGB DOS original 1986.
That part there is because I have my RGB DOS ROM in the floppy controller, so that's why you see that.
Yeah, the first 4 lines are the microsep, and the first 3 lines are the microsep basic ROM.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
And then you notice the OK prompt is not an OK prompt. The OK prompt is 2 greater than signs.
Could you, and I hate to be such a diva about this, but could you pull out that other ROM too so we could see just what this ROM looks like? I don't want you to screw up your whole config.
Gee, aren't you picky?
I'm sorry, Barry. But listen, you opened this Pandora's box, to quote somebody.
I did. All right, hold on. Give me a moment here.
Yes, thank you.
Let's see here. All
right, so where it says hard disk basic, I guess that's supposed to overwrite where it says basic on the standard Coco screen.
I think this is called Fiesta.
I don't think
Fiesta Basic.
Cartridge 5.
I don't think the slot device allows you to put in the null device like it should. Oh, yeah, you just did.
Yep. I've put a bunch of enhancements into MAME. And that was one of them is being able to override the RS-DOS ROM. The trick is if you've got a multi-pack, it's in cartridge slot 5 like this. So you just, if you have the disk controller in slot 4, and you go down here to cart 5, and you put a ROM in cart 5, even though you have the disk controller in it, it will override the disk controller's ROM.
All right, so here we go. Now we're going to see what the Mexican Coco looked like. There we go. Okay, so that is an interesting start screen, right? Programa Microsep Siete. I have no idea what that means.
Barry, who did you send the patch to?
I submitted it to the, I forget. It was like the main thing for. I submitted it as a pull request.
Oh, you did it as a pull request on GitHub?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Let me go find that.
It's a pretty simple patch. I mean, it's just going in and saying, okay, let's create a new machine. Let's make it a clone of a Coco 3. And let's change the ROM checksum for this new machine to be the checksum for this microsep.
Have you sent the ROM to the Coco archive yet?
I am not sure.
That's where I send ROMs whenever I add something new.
I hear a little bit of disturbed in the background there. Now that's cool though. That's definitely a different ROM than we're used to seeing. I'm going to stop sharing that now. Cool. Thanks, Barry. Thanks for letting us see that. That is cool. Have you seen that before, Tim? Because it sounds like you said you had seen a different Mexican one in the past.
I had been in contact with the guy that had the Coco 3 version of the Mexican Coco, but we sort of lost communication, and I'm glad Barry picked that up.
Cool.
Yeah, I followed up with it, and he had the machine, but he didn't. So we dumped it out using a program that I sent him through his cassette port and saved it as a WAV file. And he sent me the WAV file, and then I massaged the WAV file and got it to load, moved it, stripped off the headers, etc., made it a ROM image and what.
Barry, that reminds me of something that you did recently that really astounded me. On Facebook, somebody posted the WAV file for the Audio Spectrum Analyzer version 2.
Yeah.
I spent a half an hour trying to decode that absolutely horrible audio and could not get the data file out of it, but you somehow did. What was the secret?
Audacity. I am very audacious.
So you use filters in Audacity to clean up the audio?
Yep, I'm a very audacious person, as I'm sure Stevie Strobe will confirm.
Well, I have to say that audio file was crap, and I am so thankful that you were able to get that data out of it.
It fortunately, it had the valid, when you dropped the noise out, you did a noise filter, etc. I was able to get valid zero crossing from it, and yeah, I was able to pull the ROM out and get that, and then that's been upgraded. That's been updated on the Color Computer Archive.
Oh,
and
yeah.
the nice feature about that ROM, as opposed to the Color Computer Spectrum Analyzer version 1 ROM, the version 2 ROM actually works correctly with the Color Computer 3.
Because it's the one that's in the graphic mode, right? We've seen that recently. That has surfaced recently, and most of us never knew it existed.
So I hope you send this new ROM to the archive as well.
Okay. I'll try to remember to do that.
There is no try. There's either do or do not.
Well, my concern is about, the audio spectrum analyzer, I'm not worried, but this one is a copyrighted Microsoft ROM, and whoever, the company is, I have an understanding, at least, with Microsoft, with the ones that are Tandy. I haven't officially got permission to distribute them yet, but I've been talking to folks, and I'm working on that.
Well, technically, you're not going to be distributing it. You're just going to be submitting it, and then somebody else will distribute it. So you're off the hook.
Well, yeah, but when I submit it, I'm distributing it to that person. So, but yeah, I'll probably go ahead and send it in.
Send it in.
If they want to gripe at me, if they gripe at me, we'll take it back down. We'll deal with it.
You need Brother Jeremy
You'll get
to sing a
sued
song
by the
to you?
Mexican Education Department.
You never know.
never know.
I've seen stranger things happen, but
Does it actually do anything new?
It has
really,
Spanish basic tokens.
Yeah, it has some Spanish. Well, no, it has all of basic is in English.
The Coco 2 one had Spanish basic tokens.
No, this one doesn't, that I've been able to find. The only difference I was able to find is a couple of the error messages are in Spanish, or Spanish-ish.
Well, they're all two letters.
And the very pretty startup screen.
Yeah, that is.
Yeah.
I like this.
And then a non-color cursor, right? So the cursor is like a little bracket or something?
No, the OK prompt.
The OK prompt is a caret or a greater than sign or something, right? So
the OK prompt is a double greater than sign instead of the word OK, and the cursor is the regular flashing color cursor.
Is. Okay, so they just changed that in the ROM because interesting. Yep.
So I've been thinking about modifying it, maybe putting it in an EEPROM in my Coco 3, and changing the Spanish error message back to English. And changing the program of microset set to say something else, and then using it as a ROM because I like the startup screen. It's very pretty compared to the regular startup screen.
Yeah. Cool. I hear some guitar in the background. Is that you, Rick, or is that Paul that I'm hearing? I hear some mild guitar playing in the background.
I think it's me.
Okay. Hey, David Ladd has joined us on Twitch. Hey, David. CoCoTALK, one of his many multiple personalities is out there. And when we don't have David Ladd, we've got Jason to become fake David Ladd. So
proxy David Ladd.
Yeah, and when Jason and I were both in the car together, we were doing fake David Ladd in stereo. So.
Sure or not. Sounds like a long trip.
Yeah. Hey, Coco Burnin, Steve Powell. Hey, Coco Burnin, how you doing? He was on our show earlier today too. Hey, Steve, how you doing? So, Rick, you get any luck in getting the guitar audio to come through? Did we lose Rick?
I think I hear some guitar playing.
I'm pretty sure that's me.
Now,
It's not like overwhelming or anything.
No,
is it?
it's very subtle. So I'm wondering if you had it turned down low, or that's just as loud as your audio will get it.
Well, I went down to minus 92 decibels for my threshold for opening up my mic, but I am playing very softly.
Okay.
I just didn't want to be a disturbance while people were talking, but maybe have some background music.
There you go. Yeah, it's working. Brad has joined us. Hello, Brad. So, Jim Gary, how you doing?
Okay. Can you still hear me? Or
We
am I
can hear
too
you.
loud?
No, we can hear you. You're good.
Okay, good.
And
I was just checking out.
have we redeemed the MC10 coverage on the show? Are we doing an adequate job in your opinion?
Yeah, you're doing fine.
We're way past the doorstep days now, right? So giving you guys the legitimate respect you deserve, right? So
I kind of like being in the doorstep. The doorstep group.
Yeah. But it's like anything else. Sometimes you can. There is such a thing as overdoing something at some point in time, right? So some things can run their course.
Yeah, I got pretty thick skin, so don't worry about it.
Data Soup is back. We got some people joining us, some new faces. Alan Drennan. Are you playing Weezer now, Polly?
Yes.
That boy's good. That boy's good. And Jim, you've been joining us on our live midweek stuff with Sloopy, right? Jim Rye?
You're an MC10 game.
Yeah, I've been doing the Game On challenges pretty much every week.
Yeah, that's
Good
cool.
thing.
Thanks for
He's
for
waiting
doing
for
that.
me to make an MC10 game for the.
We can
Game
do
On
that.
challenge.
There's a lot out. Didn't we do?
Don't
one?
worry.
We didn't do one.
Yeah, we did Pac-Man.
We did the MC10 Pac-Man, right? Yeah.
Yeah. But I'm looking into. I think I'm going to grab one off that Chinese site. That
there's some cool ones there.
Yeah.
And even
Something
the
that maybe-
asteroids. The asteroids is good on it.
Yeah, I want to do something that maybe people haven't played, so that
Yeah.
it's a level field for everybody.
Hey, can anybody hear me?
Yeah, Rick, we can hear you.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, I started fiddling with my audio settings, and all of a sudden nobody could hear anything at all.
Oh, yeah, that happens in Discord sometimes. Discord can be a fickle beast sometimes. Can you try? Can you try doing some guitar and see if we can hear that?
I doubt it, because I reset all my settings and stuff. So
Oh, you had to.
I think
Okay.
let me. Let me take a look and see if it looks like. Oh, I don't know. I'll try it again. Let's see.
Say it isn't so. Come on, Polly, you can sing it.
I feel like my vocals will be overpowering. But
Oh yeah, overpowering the guitar. Oh, I like that video you put on Facebook the other day where you're showing how to do the cake song.
Yep.
And I had no idea those transitions were as tough as. I've always liked that song and that band. Cake has done some really cool out there stuff, and you showed how to do that little transition. I had no idea it was even that difficult.
Okay, I'm playing and nothing is happening that I can tell.
Yeah. Not hearing.
You're hearing nothing.
I'm hearing Paul's guitar, but not yours. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, this is useless.
If we went to Zoom, it would probably work because actually Zoom has improved their features to allow live audio, pro audio type stuff for musicians to do stuff. But that's just a big thing to switch the whole thing at this point.
Yeah.
Nah, you win some, you lose some. We can hear Redbeard, so we'll have to deal with that.
I want to talk to you about your Coco.
So Jim, what's on what kind of coals you got in the fire right now? What are you working on, Jim Gary?
I've just finished up a fix to my Coco. It turned out there was a problem in it.
Ah.
And I think Rick was working on it too. The algorithm wasn't recognizing the colors for codes that have double letters in the minutes with. And that's all I'm working on. But I was going to ask you. I want to ask you actually.
You're coming through a little. You're coming through a little watery right now. I'm not sure if if it's your bandwidth or if it's your audio reception, but you're real bubbly sounding.
So it's maybe my brains. I don't know.
Are you at least drinking good Canadian beer? Are you drinking some American Swill?
Alexander Keith's.
All right.
Okay, that's a good
Swill. Why did you say swill?
Because most American beer sucks.
It was the Wordle day today.
Oh, was that really what it was?
Yeah.
Spoiler alert for anybody that hasn't played it yet.
3, 4, 5. Okay.
I'm all about the spoilers.
Hey, Tim, you got any good movie recommendations that we could all maybe do a watch party on?
Tire. No, I'm sorry, Rubber.
Oh,
have you ever seen Rubber?
No, but that last horse shit you had us watch was just... I don't remember what it was, but it was horrific.
Well, the room is horse shit, but it grabs onto its horse and it rotates it until it turns into shit.
It's so bad that you have to watch it.
Yeah.
No.
The movie Rubber
awesome.
is a wonderful deconstruction of the horror genre.
Okay.
That is beautifully executed, very self-referential, and just a joy to watch.
Yeah,
Okay.
Rubber is awesome.
And where can that be found? Is it on
Big
the...
question that last phrase.
Where can that be found on the major streaming platforms right now?
I don't care. I rip DVDs and they're on my server and I watch them whenever I goddamn want to.
Okay.
I believe that film is on the new service Horseshit Plus.
Horseshit Plus, the new streaming service. Horseshit Plus. All right.
The best service out there.
Tim, Fabio, I should say. L. Curtis Boyle says to tell you that you have to bring AJ on the show sometime. That's your sister, right?
You want to set up a real interview with her?
Oh, that would be awesome. That would be awesome. We'll
It says here that
we'll schedule
Rubber.
that.
Sorry, Rick.
It says
Adams.
here that
Go ahead, Rick.
It says here that Rubber is on Prime Video.
Prime Video.
Of course,
Watch
they
it.
probably make you pay for it.
If you like horror movies, you should definitely watch it.
Okay. And we've been joined by Paul
I do
Bunyan.
not like.
Paul Fiscarelli. How you doing there, Paulie?
Yo, how you doing?
How you doing? That beard is just working it, brother.
Well, thank you very much.
It is out there.
I don't know if it's as fabulous as Tim's hair.
No, nothing compete. As what's her face said one time. Who was that? Who sang that song? Was that who sang that song? Nothing compares to you. Was that?
That was Sinead
O'Connor. Sinead O'Connor, right? Yes. So there, nothing compares to Tim's hair.
Similar to Snoopy.
Yeah.
I tried to grow my hair like Tim, and it just comes down here.
A little bit of Metallica in the background there. I can name that tune. We can play Name That Tune with Paul Thayer.
What is it?
Is that Ride the Lightning?
Nope. Seek and Destroy.
Seek and Destroy. Seek and Destroy. There you go. I could at least name the artist, not the tune. So what's the name of your Wordle, Jim Gary? Was it Mick something? And you're muted right now.
It's my Codal.
My Codal. Okay, now you're coming through super loud again, but I guess we'll take that over the waterfall. Don't go chasing waterfalls. All right, so
I'll just speak really quiet.
Speak really quiet.
Perfect.
Be very quiet. I'm hunting rabbits.
ASMR experience.
Yes.
Stevie, can I ask? Did you guys on your show ever take a look? Did Curtis notice my laser chess game?
We did show laser chess.
Okay.
And then because it bounces off of stuff, right? And
yeah,
and he was mentioning how that's similar to the game that Paulie's working on now with his what's your game called, Paulie?
CoCoBond.
CoCoBond. So Paulie's working on a game like a CoCoBond game, but it has the laser reflective type element too. So he was commenting how your implementation is similar to what Paul Thayer is doing on his new Coco 3 game. Yeah.
I am.
Great minds,
I'm not
think alike.
much. I'm not much of a game writer. I'm more of a utilities and systems person. But I would like to throw a challenge out there for all of you game writers and people that write games and software for the Coco 3. The challenge is, I would like to see somebody write a game that uses the 256 color mode in NTSC.
So it has to be done in composite. It has to be done through artifacting.
It has to be done in the composite output, but you can get 256 colors on the screen, a full 256 color screen. I figure it'll probably work really well for an adventure game with a graphical adventure game. It might also work very well for certain types of arcade and whatnot games.
And what is the actual mode? Is it what's the actual resolution of the mode? And is it a monochrome mode or is it a color mode that?
The actual resolution of the mode is the maximum resolution of the NTSC screen, which is about 160 by whatever the vertical is, 220, whatever. And you request the mode on the color computer 320 by 16 colors by 225 lines or so. And when you try to map that, the NTSC video cannot display more than 160 dots per line. So it ends up reinterpreting it.
So it's a 320 mode, but you're running it. It's a 320 16 color mode that you're running, that you get the extra colors in artifacting.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Do you know the the FF9899 values for that mode?
There's no special values. All you have to do,
it's composite.
You do it out of the composite.
You just set. You use your composite video output, and you request a 320 by 200 or 192 whatever screen.
Okay.
Sure, but 225 would be the maximum, but a standard 320 by 192 screen would work fine, and 16 color, high resolution screen. And when you display it on a composite monitor, instead of getting 320 horizontal width, you'll get 160, and instead of getting 16 colors per pixel, you only get one pixel for every 2 pixels displayed, and you'll get 256 colors per pixel.
But then you got to figure out some type of chart to know what color on what pixel represents this.
It's very smudgy.
The
NTSC output. But yeah,
Jeff Steidel did it on Graph Express program. I've just never been able to have any kind of luck having any memory left after using it. Is that real snow, Paul Fiscarelli?
Is that real snow he's asking, or you got a filter in the background there, Paulie?
Who knows? It's New England.
It's
It's 60 one day and 5 degrees the next.
Yeah.
If you do a graphical adventure game, you write it under and have it run under Nitrous 9 or OS 9, and you won't have a problem with memory because the memory will be in the second page, and OS 9 will handle the graphics access for you.
Yeah, but that you just limited your available development to like 1%.
I know if I say OS 9 3 times, I think Nick Morantes runs away and disappears.
I'm way out the door already.
Yeah. So I want to. So today was today's show. We had a really good interview, but we had something even better happen. We were joined by Nick Marotta, who's still with us too. So Nick Marotta, thanks for all you have done with our show throughout the years.
Oh, you're welcome. You're too kind.
Thank you. You're too kind. Thank you.
You must have just said his name 3 times.
Yeah.
And poof.
Yeah, it's like Beetlejuice,
There
right?
it is.
Yeah.
By the way, Stevie, congratulations. I did catch most of the show. It was great. So good job, guys.
Yeah, yeah. And thanks for all you do, Paulie Fiscarelli there for all your tools and whatnot. And
Other than looking fabulous, I don't know if I really do much.
what are you drinking there? Who's let's raise a glass to all use guys. What are you drinking there, Polly? I got to refill mine. I'm doing Crown and Coke right now.
It's the adult Aunt Jemima. Frangelico. Fine Italian hazelnut liqueur.
Italian hazelnut.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
What's the Nico got there? Is it maple syrup?
Yeah.
It's Italian. Hey, I got you Italian hazelnuts right. Hey, forget about it.
Mine starts with Jim and ends with tonic.
So, Paul, if you mix that Frangelico with creme de cacao, you'll get a drink that tastes like a Crispy Crunch chocolate bar.
Well, I'll have to try that one. I haven't heard of that.
You guys see what my picture looks like there? Well, I'm actually drinking a milk. Anybody got a problem with that?
Oh, Curtis Boyle says that Frangelico goes good on ice cream too. It's kind of like, I guess, what's the other one? The Kahlua. It's kind of a good one too. You can do some Kahlua and coffee, Kahlua and milk. Your Black Russians, White Russians, things like that. Yeah, some of them
Paralyzers.
Yeah.
Although I could go get my Jamaican ginger beer, and I can guarantee you that'll curl some people's toes up.
Ooh.
Ginger beer is awesome.
Polly T, you got the song worked out? Did you get the video I sent you?
Yeah, I got it all worked out.
Yeah, it worked out?
Yeah.
You gonna jam it for us live, brother?
I can.
And sure. I could play Rick Adams' video. I've got a video clip of Rick Adams. I'd rather have it live, but yeah. Why don't you why don't you play some Skinner for us, man? Or at least the CoCoTALK theme song. Can you get your guitar any louder?
Hey, Steve.
Yeah.
Do you see anything reasonable coming from my video?
Yeah, I see the OBS symbol, like you're trying to use a virtual camera and nothing's coming out of it. Just
Right. I don't know why, but yeah, OBS looks fine, but then when I try to patch it into this, it doesn't work. So I have no idea what's going on.
We'll have to plan that better. We'll plan it better for an unplanned live.
Rick, are you trying to change? Are you trying to share your video or share your screen?
Are you doing a virtual camera?
Virtual camera.
If you're using OBS, you have to share the OBS screen rather than the virtual camera. The virtual camera never works.
Well, I think he's trying to feed his virtual camera straight into Discord.
Oh, okay.
But then I think you would also have to change the sound source to be whatever your virtual camera from OBS is too versus your microphone.
Yeah.
Although I'm not sure about that.
Before it's just worked, so I have no idea.
Well, I think it works on Zoom, and this is Discord. So when we usually do this, we're doing it on Zoom. So there's probably.
But I've done it on I've done it on Discord before, and it's worked. So I have no idea what's going on. And then I just changed it back to my webcam, and that's not working.
Yeah, it's not working either. Because if you still have OBS open, even though it's not using it, it hijacks the webcam. Webcam can only be touched by one application at a time.
Okay.
And OBS just did an update that messed up all my settings. So.
Yeah, it screwed up my microphone this morning. So.
What you have to do in OBS is under the config is turn it off when it's not being used, and then you can use it in another app.
There you go.
Yeah, I'm confused.
But if you just close OBS, and then go to Discord and turn your camera off and then turn it back on again, and that should do it.
Right.
Tech Support 101 here, folks. Thank you for calling Packard Bell Tech Support. My name is Bob. How about those Brooklyn Dodgers?
Oh, I've got one other custom ROM that I want to make you guys aware. Well, sort of a custom.
What country is this from? Is this from Nicaragua, the Amazon rainforest?
No, it's from you make your own ROM and replace the Three Musketeers image. I released a kit on with a bunch of utilities and some documentation on the Facebook files page for the color computer that you can download some utilities, and you make a BMP image in a proper screen resolution, and these utilities will let you convert that screen image and embed it into the ROM and replace the Three Musketeers picture. Customize the colors a little bit.
Ah, cool.
So if you go to the Facebook page and look in the files section, that's out there if anybody wants to customize their ROM and replace that picture.
All right, we can hear you a little better there, Paul. You got your amp turned up to about 4, I'd say.
All right, here we go to 11 here, folks.
All right, you ready to do it live, Paulie?
And I'm going to drop off of here.
Well, I just want to know if you can hear it better.
Turn it. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. That's good.
Definitely coming through better. So Stevie, I'm going to drop off of here, and I'm going to send that Coco3ms .zip ROM file into the Color Computer Archive, and I'll see you guys later.
Tim too. Send it to Tim.
Oh,
Yes, please
right.
send it to me.
Okay. We'll do. All right.
Hey, Barry, thanks for stopping by. It's good to have you because we haven't seen you in a while, and you're definitely been a part of this show's history. So thanks for popping in.
All right, later. Bye.
All right. Are you going to turn on your camera too, or are we just going to be looking at you in the dark there, Paulie?
I don't.
You don't have to. I'm just asking. Asking for a friend.
I don't know. I'm just one.
Well, what I can do then is I can zoom in on Tim and he can bang his head and give us the whole rocker thing going on there.
You want to see it?
Yeah, let's zoom in on Tim. Hold on. Wait, Tim. Wait for it.
Here, let me play something a little bit more appropriate for him.
All right, we got Tim. We got Tim on Spotlight right now. So.
There you go.
There you go. Freaking
Good
Fabio
job.
right there.
A guy came up to me and said, "Hey Tim, are you a bass player? You look like a bass player."
You do look like a bass player.
What the hell does that mean? What does a bass player look like?
It looks like this.
Right. Woo! Rock out.
I just don't know how this is going to come through, like vocals and guitar.
I think you could. I think you can afford to raise the volume on the guitar some more because your vocals are definitely louder than your acts right now.
What do I sound like now?
You sound good. Let's hear the guitar.
How about now?
Now you are lower, Tim.
So I'm talking and I'm playing guitar at the same time.
No, I liked it better. Your vocals, you were right on top of the mic. I could hear you great.
Right here?
Yeah, you're good there. You're good.
Where I had it before?
Yeah, your voice is good. The guitar can go up.
Okay, my wife's
all
gonna
the same
love
mic.
this.
What'd you say? Your wife's getting
Sorry,
pissed?
baby. Everybody needs to hear my guitar.
That's right, man. The
In
world.
the house too.
The world needs to hear it, man.
Is that better?
Yeah, that's good. That's all right.
I just hope I don't fuck this up. I already did.
Dress rehearsal.
Every talk show's got a custom theme song. Coco Talks, no exception at all. We'd like to welcome those short or tall, hardware buffs and software dogs, even David Ladd. Coco Talk with Stevie Stroh. Coco Talk, welcome to the show. Coco Thoughts with Samuel Gimes. Challenge Lindner Rick Marotta 3 times. I told you I was going to fuck it up. Nick Marotta, the only talk show featuring David Ladd.
Wait
oh, no,
for
you
it.
got to wait for it, folks.
Wait for it. Woo!
Now
All
it's
right.
over. Coco Thoughts with Samuel Gimes. Game on challenge with Nick Marotta. Over
3 times.
Inside.
One of many high quality theme songs we have now. Oh, I like the metal version better. Every time Trump's got his own theme song. No exception. No.
Somebody call somebody. Stevie's having a stroke.
I'm stroking out, man. somebody put a belt in his mouth before the boy bites his tongue.
That's way too much now.
That was one of the coolest things that I thought when I went to my first Coco Fest, and there was the after hours jam session. And that was my first Coco Fest, and I didn't know anybody from a hole in the wall, but Curtis was there with his guitar. Brian Schubing was there. I'm trying to remember if anybody else was there. Tony Pedraz was singing. I was playing Brian's fake drum set, and just we got together for the first time. Nobody really knew each other. Well, some of them did. I didn't know anybody. And just kind of jam. And it was kind of fun. You know, it was real impromptu stuff. And then, of course, a year or two later when Paul and Tim came, who are real, professional musicians, this brought a whole nother level to it. And we did have, on our virtual Coco Fest, we did have the musical thing, right? We had Daz do Blue Monday. That was a really cool thing. And we had Bruce do the national anthem for Canada and U.S. I think this was the first year when we got together this year, we didn't have a jam because there just wasn't as many people there. And I don't think any musically inclined people were there. Or if they did, they didn't bring anything. So
I'd like to make a comment about the professional musician thing. That was a little bit over.
All right, well, talented musicians. How about that? Gifted, talented.
I play several shows a year, and then I get nervous to perform on this. Weird. Don't know.
Well, this is the big time, man. We got 16 people watching us right now. Come on.
16.
Oh, there's 10 on Twitch.
Welcome to the big leagues. Come on, I'll make you famous, kid.
16? Shit.
Holy sheep shit. Yeah. I got to refill my drink with some more liquor. Do you guys want to keep talking amongst yourselves, or you want me to just run a commercial break for the audience? We'll all drain the main vein and refill our cups and come back. Yeah, there's 18 people watching, and 12 of them are us, right? So
what was that thing that Mike Myers did with Linda Richmond? What was it?
Coffee Talk?
Coffee Talk.
Coffee Talk. Yeah. Here's the topic. Rhode Island. It's neither a road nor an island. Discuss. Talk amongst yourselves. Oh, there you go. Paulie's got the video of yous too. Yous guys.
I'm sure I was messing up there, Paul Fiscarelli.
All right, I'm gonna run a commercial break. You guys smoke them if you got them, drain them if you need to. We'll be back in about 2-3 minutes, and we'll be back with more alcohol and more random talkings.
Hey there, I'm CoCoTALK.
Fletcher, I don't need that report tomorrow.
Great, JT.
I need it tonight.
But JT...
Fletcher saved $300 on her office away from the office. Radio Shack's revolutionary Model 100 computer. It's a word processor, phone directory, and dialer. It even communicates with the office computer.
Fletcher, how's that report? Fletcher.
Radio Shack's Model 100. Save $300 and put it to work.
You'll go far, Fletcher. You'll go far.
What is love? Baby, don't hurt me. Don't hurt me no more.
And now, Coco Thoughts by Samuel Gimes. On holidays, Uncle JT would entertain us with stories of his business conquests and his assistant who would meet any deadline that he imposed, no matter how ridiculous. Well, until she shot him in the face, that is.
Hi, this is the award-winning Alan Huffman of Subby the Software, and you're watching Stevie Fall Off Cliffs.
What's going on, guys? Stevie Stroh here, and I want to say thank you so much for being part of this adventure with us. It's been such a great experience in doing CoCoTALK every week, and the support we get is just amazing. And so the fact that you watch and listen is all the reward that we need. However, if you would like to become a patron of the show and offer some financial assistance towards the production and hosting costs of the show, we do have a Patreon site available for that, and you can reach that by going to our website at CoCoTALK.live and clicking on the Patreon link. But just do us a favor and watch and listen to the show. This is not the Joey cereal switch. This is the Joey cereal switch. Control up to 3 cereal devices. Order yours today at cocoman.biz.
Radio Shack, America's technology store.
Right! This Christmas, Tandy has a very special offer. A family color computer pack to take away at a very special price. This family computer comes complete with software and costs an incredible $449, a saving of $241.69. It's powerful, educational, and ideal for the young and young at heart. The easy way to start computing. The Color Computer Family Pack from Tandy. Get it while it's hot. Tandy, the biggest electronic store in Australia.
Yeah. Hi, I'm Tim. Playing Dagger like that idiot from the book. You're watching CoCoTALK.
All right, that was Tim Lindner live. Oh, there you go. David Ladd commented on that. He says, "Thanks for singing, Paul. I feel so loved sometimes." All right, so he liked that one. So real quick before we get back to the all-important, life-changing discussions that we were having here, we were solving problems here like nobody's business. Terry, what the hell's his name? Terry Steggy, that guy. He made a video for us to celebrate episode 200, which I did try to play live on the show today, but I didn't have the audio working. So if you're watching live, you'll get to hear the audio this time. And for those of you in Discord right now, if you want to hear the audio, click on the watch stream because I'm sharing it to this stream here. If you want to hear that, it's a super cool little techno beat thing. And thank you, Terry Steggy, for making that for us. Is Terry still here? Or did he leave? Bless his heart. He left us. All right. But we're going to play it anyway. So this was a little video infographic he made for us celebrating our 250th episode today. So here it goes, boys and girls. Ah, you can't see it. Yeah, there's something weird with screen sharing here on.
There's nothing to see, but
on Discord. Yeah, whatever. So trying to do shit on Discord is not. It was
you
cool.
You can watch it later on Twitch.
You can watch it later on Twitch. You can watch it on PBS, ABC After School Special. We'll be on Christian Mingle and J-Date and all kinds of stuff like that too. So. All right, somebody's got some really bad bandwidth right now. Who's breaking up on us? Curtis Boyle said the audio came through. Yeah, the audio came through on the stream, but for the people in here in Discord, they could hear it but not see it because this is not how we do it in Zoom, I guess. Whatever. That is what it is. But Jim, I'm really glad you're here, Jim Gary and Jim Rye. You get some people on who we don't usually get on during the day. You know, it's funny, in the course of doing our show, we have experimented with time slots in the past. Historically, we did everything at 2 p.m. Eastern Time. We experimented with moving it to an evening for a while, thinking that maybe that would help with getting people to join who couldn't join during the day. So I don't remember what time. Does anybody remember what time that was when we tried doing a later main show? What time that was? Did we try doing it around 4 p.m. or maybe we did it at 8 p.m. at night? Honestly, I don't remember, but I know we did an experiment for a period of time where we changed the time slot, and it didn't really seem to change. I think the only thing that changed was there was a few different faces on the panel. It didn't change how many people watched the episodes or this, that, the other, and then it just became more of a hassle for the regular, so I think we just moved it back. But I know there was some experimenting in time slots before. And I know I changed the time slot this summer to an hour sooner just because, like I want this show to be done in time for me to have dinner. I'm just being selfish. You know what I mean? Like when I get hungry, I get hangry. I got a family, people. I got a closed door here. I got 3 or 4 people out there just looking at me like, dude, when are you going to be done?
Did Stevie just rage quit?
We just lost him.
Oh, yeah. Hold on.
Hello? Hello?
Yeah, hold on here, guys.
Oh, there he is.
No, I didn't.
Voice.
I didn't. Can you hear me now? Testes 1, testes 2.
Yeah,
we can hear you.
We just lost your video.
Hold on a second.
It's been taken up. It's been taken up.
No, I didn't.
We just assumed you rage quit.
I didn't do anything. It just Discord did something. Discord decided to spontaneously combust on me there for a second. Yeah. No. So like, I know we experimented with time slots, and then for me, like right now, the 1 p.m. works for me selfishly, because even if we do a 4 or God forbid a 5-hour show, we're done by 6 o'clock my time, and I can have dinner with my family or even dinner by myself, right? So. For me, that just kind of works.
Hungry man.
Yeah, hungry man. I got to eat, right? So,
Well,
but
Curtis suggests that we should become a 24-hour-a-day, 7-day-a-week broadcast.
well, we got enough episodes. You could just hit episode 1 and play it on loop, and I know we probably got a 3 months worth of content at this point. I know we played with that. I don't, a lot of things we've done on the show have been you throw it up on the wall and see if it sticks. You got to try something, and see what works and what doesn't work. We've had segments that just appeared out of nowhere that were great for a while, and then they kind of pittered off, and we've had ideas. I think the hardest problem for me has been like trying to keep track of it and then getting other people to help me remember it and stuff. Because I've, like we did, we came up with an idea one time like CoCoTALK Q&A, right? Where you ask a question and hopefully somebody in the panel will have an answer for you. So great idea. I think we did it once or twice and then just kind of forgot to do it. It didn't become a regular segment, So there's been a lot of different things. We had the newbie question of the week for a while. And that's, I think a lot of us have become more educated, but I think we should probably still think about that. Some aimed at beginners. The stuff, we've had some suggestions there. I know we did a special not too long ago, like Back to the Coco. We did one.
We had that assembly with George for a bit.
Yeah, and that one too. That was kind of really tough, I think, even for George, because it is such. It almost feels like that should be its own thing, and the people who want to see it will watch it. I love the idea of live and interactive, and hey, you got a guy who's giving you a lesson and you can actually ask him a question, because you can watch a ton of stuff on YouTube and you can watch a video, but if you don't understand it, how do you ask the question? So to have real-time access to somebody who's willing to make it interactive is great. I don't know how well it was received or appreciated, and then I think I think George just wasn't as enamored with the stuff, because maybe he just didn't feel like people were appreciating what he did. So that was a neat idea, but I think it just needed to be packaged differently, and hopefully we might be able to do that. But yeah, there's been no shortage of different things. We've had series. We had the Steve Bjork Assembly series. We tried the George one. We've had different things, and it's kind of cool because we have not been afraid to try stuff. Try it out, see if it works, see if it doesn't work. Game On has been a runaway hit, right? So how long has Game On been going? Nick and is Nick Marotta still here? We lose Nick. Yeah.
I think this is our 105th week.
So almost half the lifetime of the show we've had that segment, and it's one of the ideas or segments that we've had that has remained, right? And it's real popular because it's got a lot of mass appeal. And we got Jim right here who's taking part of that, right? So you're one of our regular players, and
good time.
I love the fact that there's kind of an augmented layer to the show where there's things happening around the show on Discord all throughout the week, where the show may only be once a week for a couple of hours, but the connection we have with people staying together, it keeps going on. So we can play games all throughout the week and just share stuff and still feel like we're part of stuff. And I think that's something I've noticed that's different from, maybe 5 years before we started this, because it used to be the only time you had a real connection was once a year at Coco Fest and like once a month with a podcast. And one of the phrases that I used to hear back then was the Coco Fest blues, right? You go to Coco Fest once a year, you feel really good because you got 2 days hanging out, geeking out with everybody with the same interests, and then you got to wait a whole another year to experience that again. So I remember hearing that phrase, the Coco Fest blues, when I first started going to Coco Fest. But I think so much has happened now where I don't think we feel disconnected anymore. I think the world's gotten smaller, or we've gotten tighter, or more connected. So I don't think there's that big withdrawal or distance between that feeling of connectivity anymore that there was 5-6 years ago, just because of all these tools, right? Zoom and Discord and a weekly show and a monthly show and a third show with the amigos. And so there's just so much more going on that there's no shortage of content and stuff to do. If you're a consumer of this crap, there's plenty of crap to consume at this point. It's not, the frequency has definitely, the quantity has definitely gone up, so that's
you know what you need, Stevie?
What's that?
Is a segment just for the MC10. Maybe an hour long.
Yeah,
okay. You can call it the 24-hour MC10 hour. It's only an hour, but it feels like 24. I think you should add that.
Do you want to head that one up for us?
Oh, yeah, sure, for sure.
Yeah. Well, dude, you're welcome to come on the show anytime. And maybe your schedule doesn't permit it, but anytime you want to come on, feel free.
Well, thank you.
I think Curtis does a hell of a job. Curtis does a really good job curating a good wide selection. He casts a very wide net, I feel. He gets a lot of stuff. And, Curtis is saying, yeah, the Amigos just recorded their next episode today while we were still on the air. Yeah, those guys are just creating content like nobody's business. So it's good. One of the things that I like personally is that... there was a time when I made a lot of Coco videos, and even though I haven't made a Coco video in a long time, I've got over 200 gameplay videos that I've done. I still feel like my body of work is still, although I cringe at a lot of my earlier stuff, I just feel like I've done enough. I've done enough games. I've thrown enough out there to generate the interest. But the good news is now there's so many people doing videos. I don't have to feel like if I don't do it, it's not going to get done. I haven't done it, and I don't need to do it because there are so many people doing it. You got Ken, you got Ken here, Canadian Retro Things. There's so many people doing MC10 videos and Coco videos and Dragon videos that and at the end of the day, that's all that really matters, right? As long as people are getting that content and being able to see it and share it and talk about it and enjoy it, that's really all that matters. And so luckily that's happening, and that's snowballed, so I love that there's so much Coco content. And what I love, what Curtis does, is he finds stuff that I would never have time to even search for. For a guy who does stuff on YouTube, I'm the worst YouTube viewer because I don't watch YouTube. I don't watch anything on YouTube. I don't look for things. I don't have time to watch stuff. Everybody's like, oh, have you seen this guy? You've seen this thing? You seen? I'm like, dude, I don't even know what you're talking about. I don't know what is on YouTube because I just don't have time. So the great thing is when I watch the news every week, I'm seeing something, and it's actual news to me because dude, I never knew this was out there. This is cool, So he's doing a hell of a job bringing stuff to all of us because I see stuff and I learn stuff all the time by watching this crappy show that we do, So it's cool stuff. And I think I've fulfilled my contract on saying nice things about Curtis. And since this is the uncensored show, we can now speak freely.
I don't think you had to say nice things about him because he's not here.
Right, exactly. Well, I'm under contract.
I'd like you to get the. Did you ever redo my commercial you did for my MC10 website?
I did. I changed the backtrack to one of Curtis's tracks. By the way, Curtis, another good guitar player. And then I changed some of the stuff. But yeah, I mean, I run it. I've tweaked it, but it's still the same content, Yeah,
no, it's just that you had text adventures misspelt on the very first one there, and I still use that on my YouTube page, but. I kind of like it, but I'd like to get the updated one at some point or another if I could, somehow.
Yeah, well, if you want to send it to me, or do you want to produce it? You make videos for YouTube all the time. Then why don't you just produce?
No, I just like the one that you kind of updated a bit. Get it off you somehow.
Oh, I can send that back to you.
Yeah, if you've got a slightly more updated one, then I can maybe update my YouTube page.
Yeah.
Get some of that off of there.
Yeah, he'll make you a good deal on it.
Oh, yeah, the real good deal.
Oh, yeah.
I'll sell you back to your content at a reduced price. Capitalism.
Wow. Such a deal.
Well, we haven't really sworn a lot, which is rare for an After Dark, and we haven't talked about Star Trek. So I don't know. I think we're breaking form here, but Al Hartman's not here. If Al Hartman was here, we'd definitely be going deep down the Star Trek rabbit hole. Hey, Paulie Fiscarelli, what have you been up to, man? We haven't heard from you in a while. What are you working on, man? Anything good? You're muted.
Not a whole lot. No retro projects really. Been busy with work quite a bit. The kids. I tune in every now and then. Still keep tabs on you guys, seeing what kind of trouble you're getting into. But yeah, ever since Prince of Persia demo for Coco Fest, I've kind of
that was cool.
Taken a break and haven't really done much. So,
will you be attending physically or virtually this year in May?
Possibly. So that's right in the middle of our Little League season, and I'm a coach, and I also help run the league. So trying to take time away. I mean, one of the things I was thinking is maybe coming out for Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and then getting back for the Sunday game kind of thing or something. But we'll see.
Do we have any performance enhancement drug scandals in Little League these days? Or are we doing pretty good there? Or?
Not at the 8 and 9 year old level.
I'm doubling up on my Flintstones chewables, bitches.
You could always just bring all the kids with you, and they can play baseball.
I'm gonna grind some Flintstones chewables up, snort those, and chase it with a Red Bull. I'm ready to put me in, Coach.
I've never been to a Coco Fest. I'm just curious about all the back room stories and craziness that I've never been able to participate in. Is there any crazy stories?
Yes.
And they're all true.
They're all true. You won't hear them here.
Tim has some tenure on anything. Any memories you want to
I'm going to stay here.
Well,
nothing I'll repeat.
During the day is pretty respectable. It's just after they close is when all the stuff happens.
And to say what happens at Coco Fest stays at Coco Fest, right? So
I remember the night manager at the hotel being so nice about all the alcohol we brought into the lobby.
I mean, there was a lot. There was a lot, because they would kick us out. This is you're talking about Heron Point, right? When we had the two different rooms. So yeah, the event was in the convention hall, which was in a basement. And then they would kick us out of there at midnight, so we had to go back to the hotel lobby, which is a pretty good-sized lobby because that's where they had the breakfast buffet and stuff like that. And people were just bringing out bottles of booze. What's his name? What do you call him? Jesus Eric? Jesus Eric had a briefcase full of stuff that he had of all his booze. And, there was all kinds of drinks. And what's his name? Brett Gordon would bring all kinds of cheese and crackers and sausage and we had snacks, and it was the whole spread, dude, with liquor and beer and alcohol and everything in the lobby. That was all BYOB, and they actually were. They didn't give a shit for it, right?
Oh, they were great.
Yeah, that was.
Bring your own brie.
Yeah, bring your own brie.
Come for the cocos, stay for the cheese.
We had people that were just staying at the hotel wondering what was going on, thinking we were like rock stars and just hanging out with us.
The normies.
2 a.m.
You guys are using 40-year-old computers. What's wrong with you?
Right.
So why did they kick us out of that place? Or perhaps did I just hear us explain why we got kicked out?
Well, I don't know that there's an official answer, but I believe one of the answers I recall hearing as being provided from the venue was that because they had to pay the staff to stay there till midnight to make sure they locked us up and locked us out, and so that was the main reason. We don't want to have to pay for the staff. The fact that the elevator got broke may or may not have had something to do with it, but that was never mentioned. But I think the official blanket reason was, it's just costing us too much money to pay for the security to keep that room open for you until midnight. So who knows?
Well, I mean, breaking an elevator is not our fault.
No.
Yeah,
Jim Carrey.
It's not like we were transporting gold pressed platinum down the elevator or something.
Yeah, I mean anything. That could be a lawsuit for faulty equipment. So
that's right.
So. Yeah, so I don't know for sure, but I believe I heard one of the reasons provided was it was costing a lot for them to pay the staff.
Who broke the elevator?
We can neither confirm
Nobody.
nor deny. Well, there was an incident. That is true.
There's
but,
some
but if-
pictures.
I don't believe there's any guilty party. You may allege to some guilt, but no. But there was an incident, and people were trapped in that elevator for some time. But yeah, there's lots of pictures. A song came out of that. Wrote a song about it. You want to hear it? Hey, there you go. There's one of the pictures. Paul Fisk really on the spot with the pictures. Yeah, they had to have a fire truck in the jaws of life come out and get these sons of bitches out of there. It was like
We didn't have anybody on that elevator that weighed 1,200 pounds.
and the thing was too is that David Ladd had sent me a text saying, "Dude, we're stuck in the elevator." Of course, because the doors were closed, I never got the text until after the fire department already come. And an hour later, it's like, "Ding! Oh, you're stuck in the elevator." Okay. Oh, those poor bastards! Look at them all down there.
If I would have received it from David, I don't know if I would have believed it at first either.
Right. But think about the things that have happened at Coco Fest that have inspired true life events that have inspired songs, right? So that event inspired the "Stuck in the Elevator" song that Bruce Moore did, which I wish I could just pull up on a demand, but I can't.
I never heard that.
Yeah, it's a parody of "Love an Elevator" by Aerosmith. So it's "Stuck in an Elevator," right? So and then of course the Nightmare Highway event, which another real life event that inspired another hit song, and yeah,
that was in the same year too.
And a video game, right? The event that inspired the video game that inspired the song.
Now a major motion picture.
That's right. The role of David Ladd.
Another song. I have another song that I wrote. I'm not sure if I ever told you about it. I probably did. For the talent show like 30, 40 years ago.
Oh, yeah. You did a tape. Isn't that one of the ones where you had Danny O'Connor remaster the tape and get it off of the cassette and digitize it for you?
Yeah. Yeah.
I remember hearing part of that, but I don't remember it all. It's been a while.
Yeah. rickadams.org/downloads/
Flash wrote a song about it. Here you go.
Wrote a song about it.
.mp3.
Sorry, we were talking over you. Say it again, Rick, and I'll put it in the chat.
Okay. rickadams.org/downloads/prosperblues.mp3.
If we just do downloads, will that take you to a page, or does it have to be the full link?
No. Nope, it has to be the full thing.
Okay, what kind of blues was it again?
Prosper Blues, as in, live long and prosper.
PROSPERBLUES.mp3?
Correct.
Okay, so I'll throw that link out there, and hopefully that'll work for somebody.
It is very retro.
Very retro, because it was recorded when retro was new, right? Yeah. Ron Delvaux has joined us. Hey, Ron, welcome back.
Hello.
Twice in one day.
Crazy.
Yeah. So what is Curtis Boyle saying? Gotta love Paul's joystick and keyboard adapters. So he says there hasn't been any major scandals since the great Girl Scout cookie overdose of '94. Well, we have now Jim Brain's daughter, Belle, brings fresh baked goods, where she makes brownies and cookies and stuff, and she sells those at the events. She does those at Coco Fest and at VCF, and those are a big hit.
The great Chesterfield Stampede of '07.
Oh, yeah. Tim, you're looking a little green there. Are you okay?
So
the software.
So the Stuck in the Elevator is in the audio folder of the stream content.
Yeah, I'm just not sure how I could share that to where you guys would hear it. Let me see something. If I go to my segments, I don't know that I have, but see, the problem is that unless I put it as a scene into OBS, you guys won't hear it. I could do it and make it where people on the stream could hear it. Let me try this. No, it's just too complicated. I don't feel like doing all that. It's Saturday night and I'm drinking. I'm not gonna try to technicize some shit right now. It's just not happening.
I agree.
So yeah, it's all good. Sloopy, how you feeling? Feeling any better?
Yeah, a little bit.
Drinking alcohol, that always helps.
No, I don't really drink alcohol much.
Okay.
Did you have COVID or something, Snoopy?
Yeah, he hurt himself. He overexerted himself working on the clutch.
Yeah, I have back problems, and I was working on my car today and overdid
Oh,
it.
that sucks.
Absolutely. I make it a rule to not only do I not overexert, I don't even exert. I underexert at all times. So that way I don't have to worry about that. So I have a no exert rule.
I gotta go. You gentlemen have a good evening.
You taking off, Jim Rye?
Yeah.
Hey, thanks for joining us, man.
No problem.
We're dropping off like flies. At our age, we're lucky we made it this long, right? So.
Yeah, I'm lucky to be upright.
Oh, it's still early here.
Yeah, in Canada.
I'll head up there then.
Oh, speaking of Canada, and I wish he would join us in the chat or jump in. But so Bruce Moore, this is a pre teaser before the main teaser. But do you guys all remember the Coco Forever mixed media drama series, audio drama thing? So we want to redo that in some fashion. So I'm not exactly selling this properly just yet, but I'm going to just throw it out there since we have a few people watching us, a few people on the panel. So for those who aren't aware, he did this series, and I forgot how many parts it was, 8 parts, 10 parts, but it's kind of like an audio drama with some augmented reality stuff. There's a couple of computer programs you run to go along with it. There's some audio and video content. There's some like scans and images. And so it's a whole mixed media story with the premise of going back in time. What if you could go back in time and change history and make Tandy, when Tandy computers became the superior computer on the planet, right? So that's kind of the premise. And it's a really cool production, done very well. And a lot of members of the community lent their, and I'll use the word talent very loosely, but we lent our voices as characters in this production. So I did a little part, Rick Adams did a part, David Ladd had done a part, Jason did a part. So a lot of us lent some talent to that. And and it was available for sale. You could buy it as episodically, or you could buy the whole package. And then maybe a year ago, we had done a screening party where we invited people to do it with us live. And it was never aired live. It was a private screening, but we had the whole cast and crew together. So Bruce Moore had his son and some of his nieces or nephews and some of the other voices, and all the cast and crew, we all got together. And so we did this screening where we went through the whole thing, where we listened to it and we did the computer stuff and we did the video stuff and the all that kind of stuff. And it was really cool. And other than the dozen or so people that were there, nobody got to experience that. So Bruce wants to do another one of those where it is a whole kind of private screening watch party with the cast and crew and those who want to take part of it. And I think all you have to do is, I think he's going to put the whole series again up for sale, and it'll be kind of like a name your own price, so you can buy it for whatever you want. So so this is how you're going to buy your ticket, so to speak, to this event. So if you buy the whole package from him for whatever price you want to pay, $1, whatever, you now have a ticket and you can attend the event, and then we're going to schedule the event. Now, in order to schedule this event, we need to set a date where we can get people like Rick Adams and Jason and myself. And so again, I use the word very loosely, but the talent who was in it, we need to get all of us together so the cast and crew can be there for this screening, this private screening. So those of you who are guilty of that, you've been warned, right? So Rick and Jason and myself and a few others, David Ladd, if you're watching, Curtis Boyle, I don't even remember who they all were. So we're going to schedule this, and we'll make an official announcement. But I just gave you all the unofficial announcement. Clear as mud? Yeah? Okay.
I think so.
Stop right there.
Stop right there. Right. So thank you. You're too kind. And
that's going to bring all that nonsense back again.
Oh, yeah.
What's the frequency, Kenneth?
So Coco Burden is asking, who are the two ladies who are going to be on next week? It is Taylor and Amy of the Taylor and Amy show. And I can run that spot real quick if I pull up my commercial break. And I'll share that for the people in Discord now too. Gosh, it's so different. I'm so used to doing this in Zoom at this point. So I'm going to do that right now. I'm sharing OBS. So if you guys in Discord right now want to see that spot, click on watch now, the live button, and then I'll play it for those in the audience who wanted to see that bumper again. So
gotta head out. See you guys
all
later.
right. Hey, thanks for playing the live track there, Paulie.
Yeah, no problem.
All right, so I'm going to go ahead and play that bumper for next week's guest on the show. Here we go.
Hi, I'm Taylor.
And I'm Amy.
And we're from
The Taylor and Amy Show.
And we are excited to be on CoCoTALK on February 26th at 1 p.m. Eastern.
Be sure to tune in live to chat with us. We'll be there.
All right, so that's Taylor and Amy from the Taylor and Amy Show. They're going to be on our show live next week. And so another YouTube channel that Curtis found. And we don't see a lot of women doing retro videos, right? And so they get all kinds of stuff out there. But one of the videos they did that Curtis found was them doing a Coco memory upgrade. And so he found them, and being the good talent scout that he is, anytime he sees anything on YouTube, he'll always say, hey, you should come on our show, right? So I love your video, come on our show, right? So and they actually agreed. So we're gonna have them on. And we did when we recorded that little bumper thing there. They seem like some firecrackers, right? So they're gonna be full of vim and vigor. So it should be a good, entertaining interview to have. And
are they Coco users from back in the day, or are they young people?
Well, I didn't want to ask those questions because I want to find out.
Oh.
So I don't like to ask too many questions in the pre-interview, just because I want to know, right? So those are some of our standard boilerplate questions, which we will ask them. So I honestly don't know. So we'll find out. It'll be a shared experience, right? So
you don't know if they're strippers or not.
Come on now, Ron. Come on now, Ron. Come on.
I'm getting the teenager coming.
Yeah, we want to make them welcome.
I was going to say something interesting. If you follow their channel, having to do with Jim Gary's game that he did there recently with the laser chess. They actually took a physical laser chess game and did a bunch of physics experiments with it in their latest video. So
interesting.
Oh, neat. Yeah, that was a classic game back in the day. Laser chess. Came out on the ST first, I guess, and every other computer.
They wanted to do some experiments with lasers, and they found this laser chess game, so they just used it.
Yeah, the original ST game was a little bit different, but then somebody obviously created the laser version, real physical one.
Yeah, this was the real physical one with the mirrors and everything, and they replaced a bunch of the mirrors with other things to do experiments. And
I see, yeah.
Had a little mishap with their fog machine, and
let's see. I was really happy to find the modern game because the original game had a 9x9 board, like a real chess board or a expanded checkers board, and I couldn't fit that on an MC10 screen. But this new physical laser chess games was 8x10, and I could fit that on the MC10 screen and scale it for the 32 character height and everything. So it's not the original laser chess, but it works. So
yeah.
Anyway, obviously kids love those lasers. I mean, it's chess lasers.
That's the new that's the new version of you'll shoot your eye out, kid, right? So matter of fact, when we were at the Hamcation this weekend, there was a guy who had for sale the Red Ryder BB gun at the outdoor flea market. First thing I said was, "You'll shoot your eye out, kid," as soon as I saw that thing. Oh man. Buck Owen says that their Tandy 1000 video is pretty funny. So yeah, they just seem like they are a couple of characters. So I think they're going to be a great fun to have on the show. And as far as I know, I believe this will be the first pair of biologically born women that we've had on the show. Because I know we've had a few members of our panel who have transitioned or identify as different genders, but I think these will be the first natural born women that we've had on the show. So history will be made there. So that'll be kind of cool. And definitely, it's cool to see women in retro, right? Because that's something you don't see a lot of on YouTube anyways.
Cool to see women with soldering irons.
Women with soldering irons too, yeah, right? And so we need to get you and your sister on the show, Tim. So do we need to book that? Ron Delvo, do you want to book that with Tim Lindner? And take him out to lunch, make him an offer he can't refuse.
Just for fun,
My sister would love it.
I think Tim should have to interview AJ.
No. I think Curtis should do it.
No. I think Tim should do it. The videos are fun.
Thanks.
Jim Gary, Curtis Boyle's asking you, what did you think of Darren Atkinson's Wordle for the MC32, the graphical one?
Well, he stole an idea from me, so now I have nothing to do for the rest of the week, so I'm going to stop. But I mean, no, it looked great, and he really went to graphical town with the presentation and everything. And somebody put that video up on the MC10 page, and after I put mine up, and then they tried my game, and they said it doesn't work right. And I based mine. I just ripped off Rick Adams' code, right? So me and Rick, I've sent him a thing.
Perfectly fine.
Did you get that Facebook posting?
Oh yeah, we've gone back and forth on that several times.
Right.
Basically, the rules on mine were different than. Yeah. So I've made an attempt to implement that, and I think I've done okay. I had about 4 wrong tries, and so now I think I've got it all fixed now, so that it works the way that it's supposed to. But
it was kind of tough. It's a tough little logical problem to try to make those colors go the right way that the original game works.
It's a subtlety in the rules that was actually pointed out to me before this, but I just hadn't gotten around to implementing it yet. And now that I've implemented it, I think I've implemented it right. But now I've got people telling me more efficient ways to do it, which I'm sure that there are, and I'll be looking at that. So
did Curtis? He converted that to OS 9.
Yes.
So he'll have to implement.
He'll need to do that too. Yeah. You're right.
Good.
I'll talk to him about that.
Anyway, it was a fun little project, so I appreciate it.
Oh, totally.
You don't mind me using the code, do you?
Huh?
It's okay to use your code and just...
It's fine. That's perfectly fine.
Okay, good.
Never
know how people feel about
that's one of
those
those things where I have never played the real Wordle. I never will play the real Wordle, but on the Coco version, I'll probably play it just because it's on. I don't know. I'm just.
Are you philosophically opposed to
No, I'm not saying
games on a Coco. Or...
No. I'm what I'm saying by the real one. I'm talking about the one that everybody's playing on their phones. I'm opposed to putting games on. Even though I play games all the time, I don't put any games on my phone because to me, a phone is a tool. So I use my phone for work and calendars and contacts and appointments. I don't play on the phone. So so I'm not into the whole Wordle on the phone thing, but I like the fact that it's on the Coco. I'll play the Coco version and the MC10 version because that's cool because it's on the vintage thing. Curtis says
I couldn't figure out how to get my phone.
Curtis says Stevie is philosophically opposed to reading and spelling, I think.
I couldn't figure out how to get my phone plugged into my computer.
Yeah,
so
we saw that.
Just go with Rick Adams' version.
Yeah.
There's along the lines of Wordle. There's actually a better game out there now called Nerdle.
Nerdle,
and it's doing it with math equations instead of letters. It's pretty nice.
Math is hard, man. Math makes my head hurt. And words are bad enough. When you start throwing numbers in the mix, forget it. I'm lost. So yeah.
And their websites are not apps you download, Stevie. So.
Okay, but no, there's no such thing as recreational math as far as I'm concerned. So, yeah, math is punishment. So,
Nerd. Oh well, then I have another recommendation for you, Stevie. Countdown, the British game show. You'll love it.
Yeah, why is that? Is that dealing with math?
Yeah.
Okay. No, pass.
But watch the 8 out of 10 cats version. It's much better.
Oh yes, definitely the 8 out of 10 cats version.
You know what sucks is that I could have got into computers probably a year sooner because I didn't get my Coco till like 81, and when the Apple IIs came out in public school when I was in like middle school, I was interested in computers, but I hated math and I was bad at math. And I said, oh, I'd like to take this computer class. And the guidance counselor says, well, you should really only take that class if you're good in math. And I was just instantly turned off at that point. That was the worst possible thing you could have said to somebody who was interested in something, is to discourage somebody from wanting to learn something. But had I, now, maybe it's probably good that my first experience with BASIC and computers wasn't on the Apple II and AppleSoft BASIC. I don't know. But I could have gotten a few years head start on being interested in computers had I not heard that one discouraging comment of don't take a computer class if you're not good in math. Because honestly, how much math, what is programming even related to math? Not necessarily, right? And what I actually found in programming was like when I was trying to learn algebra, in middle school, like as an abstract concept, variables and x and y and 2x is 1y. None of that made sense because there was no way to apply that to anything tangible. But the minute you start, writing programs even in BASIC, and you're dealing with variables and x equals x plus 1, and you're trying to map an x and y coordinate to a screen coordinate, and adding up your scores and the stuff. Now I could apply those abstract concepts to something real. And then algebra made perfect sense, so it was really context and application versus abstract. Everybody's brain's wired differently. So I found that working on a computer helped me understand math better, as opposed to the advice that was given to me that if you're not a good mather, then don't do it, so.
There was a misconception at the very beginning that you needed a background in math to do computers. I remember that when the basic course was first added to my college, one of the prerequisites was calculus, which is ridiculous. And the year after, they dropped that requirement, so I was able to take the class finally.
Yeah, that's crazy. Like, I still don't understand sine and cosine. I remember one of the things that Paulie Fiscarelli did one time when I was doing my basic series on YouTube is like holding my beer, and he did the whole thing with the radar, how it was going around and it would blip. And it's like, oh, it's real simple. You just do the sines. And I'm like, dude, I don't know what a sine or a cosine is. You lost me at that, and I still don't know what that is. And I've lived my whole life not knowing it. I'm not going to try to learn it now, So.
But how many people didn't learn computing because their guidance counselor thought computing meant COBOL business logic? Put on your little shady hat.
Computers were only for the smart kids.
Figure out the actuary tables and.
Right. Crazy.
Well, figuring out hexadecimal is math, isn't it?
Well, that's kind of fun though.
In a way, yeah, it is a conversion process. Yeah.
That's why we have calculators.
Yeah, and that's weird. And the irony is that the guy who still to this day, I'm not a fan of institutionalized learning. I'm not a fan of conventional education, but I've spent almost a decade and a half being an adult educator. So the guy who hated school and barely got through school and ended up teaching people, but just like I learn unconventionally, I would teach unconventionally too. So I'm like real good about teach by example, and let me give you an analogy and let me draw you a picture and stuff like that, because that's the only way I understand things. So that's how I taught. But because I taught like binary and subnetting and the conversions of the 8 bits from decimal to binary and decimal to hex, like I did that on a whiteboard for decades. I could still kind of do that in my head because I did it so many times. But I'm not like, I don't think in that language. But if I started writing things out again, I could write, binary to decimal to hex pretty easily. It would come back to me pretty quickly because I'd spent so long talking about it, So again, it's all based on to me, it's all about context and application. I can't learn things abstractly. I got to do an example. Let me do an example. Let me come up with a proof of concept, and then boom, all right, I got it, right? So it's hard for me to kind of grasp things out of thin air.
I think you touched on a good point there, Stevie. I mean, it's all how you relate to the material and how you were saying, growing up, you didn't like math, but once you got into computers, you saw how the math related to it, and it was easier because you had real world examples to work from and pick it up from there.
Yeah, some people can just understand things. I'm not a good listener. Like if you give me audible information, you try to explain something to me, and I hear you. For whatever reason, if I can't paint the picture in my brain, I will literally ask you to draw me a picture. do me a favor, draw me a picture, right? Like we're gonna get all Ross Pro on your face. Like, draw me a picture here real quick. See, right? See, so right, if you can draw me a picture, then I can understand it. But if my brain can't create that mental image, no matter how well you are thinking you're explaining it to me, I'm never gonna get it. You know, I have to see it somehow. You know, so I'm a visual learner. You know, and everybody's different.
What do you do to keep body and soul together, Steve? I've always been curious to know about during the daylight hours.
What do I do during the day?
Yeah.
Oh, I do IT. I've been doing IT for 30 years. So, and
what kind of IT?
It's small office support now. I mean, I've done big IT in the past, but now I work for myself and I support small businesses, just supporting their office network of PCs and internet and all that kind of stuff.
I see. Very good.
So.
And the COVID thing didn't disrupt that too much for you?
No, honestly, I had the opposite effect of Curtis, where COVID shut down Curtis's business because he was dealing on public venues, like he was dealing with sporting events, and those were closed. But for me, I had maybe 2 slow months, and I've been busier than I've ever been. So, I like that. That's why it's hard for me to do the show sometimes. I got so much stuff going on. If I'm not busy, I'm exhausted. So yeah, COVID has just kicked my workload into high gear. So I'm constantly busy right now, which I guess is a good thing, but it's exhausting. It's mentally and physically exhausting, you know. So, ooh, David, Jason, Coco Man is back.
Ooh, yes.
Ooh.
I have a beverage in a green plastic cup for some reason.
It's not a red Solo cup; it's a green Solo cup.
No, I think it is Solo, Brad. I think this must be leftovers from Christmas.
Red Solo cup, I fill you up.
So, Ron Delvey, what's going on in your garage? He's sleeping.
I think he's asleep.
He's not. He's muted. He's laughing.
Oh, Curtis is here now.
Oh shit! Everybody.
Okay, we gotta stop talking about it.
Jesus.
Okay, show's over.
Good night, everybody.
Good night. Show's over.
Good night, everybody. I just finished a job and I took a look at the next one, and that's going to be way too long, so I'll wait till tomorrow. So, grabbed a drink and joining.
What are you drinking, Curtis? Cheers.
Some weird German liqueur.
Curtis, I completed my contractual obligation. I said nice things about you. I did it under duress.
Well, that's why I'm on here right now,
protest.
because you did half the contract. You see, you covered praising me, which of course is required, but you forgot to praise Nitrous 9. So I'm here to collect the rest of the debt.
Bullshit.
All praise Nitrous 9. Yeah.
We're not worthy.
We're not worthy.
Oh.
I love OS9, and there's not enough talk in the community about OS9.
There's not. No,
there you go.
Get
Jim,
Curtis,
you're hired. You're on the show. You're replacing Stevie as of next Saturday.
Get Curtis started. You'll never shut him up.
I better make another video.
Yeah.
I'm going to give up on the MC10 and go to the OS9 thing.
Oh,
again.
speaking of that.
Okay, you're cut off. Whatever you're drinking, you're cut off.
So Curtis, earlier before we were live, Barry Nelson was on, and he was asking about where in the world is Commerce in San Diego? Does that work on ease of use? Because he said apparently there's some issues with how it does certain calls that are hard coded that are not Nitrous 9 compatible.
No, I fixed those, and it should be working just fine.
I wasn't sure. I felt reasonably sure that it probably is, but I wasn't 100% sure. So
he's right, though. Some patches were required.
Yeah. Okay. So that was one of the things he was asking about. And I wasn't sure if you maybe had that, if that was on the website as far as what's in the distribution or not, but whatever.
It's in the current distribution, and I think even the source code patches I did are in the distribution.
Right,
so we now know where she is?
Do we know where she is? At least we know it runs in Nitrous 9.
Yeah.
So this was like before Where's Waldo, right? There was Where in the World is Carmen San Diego, right? So.
Actually, I think Waldo's older because that was like a comic strip thing, like in the 40s or something.
Right. It was a British thing, I think, long before it was here.
Oh, I did not know that. Okay.
Here we just call it "Where's your golf ball in the snow?" That's what we call it here. Okay.
Carmen's over at Leisure Suit Larry's house.
Hey, Curtis.
Yeah.
Were you around? I don't think you were around earlier. We were discussing there's some subtle changes to the rules of Wordle.
Oh no, I heard that. That was when I was in the chat. before I was
Yeah.
finishing
Well,
work.
I pushed out the changes to my code out to my GitHub, so you might take a look at that and see what
Yeah,
you might
I will.
want to do to the OS 9
I probably won't
version.
do it until work dies down a bit here. Like I'll be working again tomorrow. I just
Oh,
want
sure.
to tackle this huge job here right now. So probably a couple weeks before I get to it, so you can finish fixing in the other little bits you want to do, and then I'll do all of them in one fell swoop.
Right. Well, I think I'm done, but I'm probably wrong. And if
Because
you
I'm
wanna
still
see
behind
what
your
kind of-
last changes before that. So
Right, that's a good point. And if you want to see what kind of nonsense you have to live through when you got cataract surgery, let me turn on my camera here.
Ooh.
Yeah.
well, I thought maybe you got a guitar string in the eye when you were playing earlier or something.
No. Yeah, I have to do this because they want you to have like a shield over your eye so you don't rub your eye.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, it's like a cone for dogs. Except
the cone of shame.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, my mom's going to be going through that. They're just booking her cataract surgery.
So
So
my mom just finished that. So
And then they're doing my other eye next week, so should be exciting.
Yeah.
But I've had to put mine on. When I get like kind of sleepy when it's getting toward bedtime, I tend to like unconsciously rub my eye. So I've had to like a half an hour before I go to sleep, I put this thing on, just for insurance. So
Not just
never mind.
not just because it makes you look more handsome.
Oh yeah.
Well, Rick has to have
Absolute
something to
fashion
compete with
statement.
Tim's hair. So
Wouldn't a pair of safety goggles done the job just as well?
It'd be too easy to
maybe.
get your finger underneath them if you wanted to. So this is like sealing the whole area, the whole socket.
No, I think it'd be about equivalent because I can get my finger underneath this too if I really need to.
Ah, okay.
I know my dad had that done a few years ago, and it was laser assisted.
Laser.
Lasers.
Laser.
Frickin'
well, it's laser
laser.
assisted. We can ask Taylor and Amy about that. They were fiddling with lasers recently.
I don't think it was laser chest.
So, just out of curiosity, Curtis, how do you find all this stuff? Do you have like search words set up? Are you doing a
Yes.
manual search, or do you have like a automated thing that's
No, it's manual, but it's not too much. I look for like Tandy Coco, Sadie Coco, because some people call it each other. I also search for MC10. MC10, unfortunately, even if I put it in quotes specifying MC-10, it keeps bringing up all these like Spanish religious things. I don't know what the hell that has to do with MC10, but I get tons of them every time I do a search. And then I just restrict it to the last week or, depending on when I'm doing it.
Okay.
Curtis, how did you spot that crazy Japanese guy who's making all of those games?
That was on a search for MC10, literally on YouTube.
Just to be safe, we cannot. This is slander or libel here, but we don't know the person's actually crazy. Okay, so allegedly he's been alleged to have.
I just mean.
It's
beyond belief. I don't know.
Yeah,
in
your
opinion, that's crazy.
I know what allegedly means. It's like Disk Basic is allegedly an operating system.
Allegedly. Yes.
Or you can allegedly run games in OS 9.
He's such a mysterious figure, though. Nobody knows, and he doesn't seem to be.
Yeah, no, that's cool though. It is an insane volume of stuff that.
Actually, Paris Surratt says he does know the guy.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And I've asked him.
Translating Japanese and trying to put questions up on the the YouTube channel, and nothing. His YouTube, nothing comes back. So.
Yeah, I don't think he really communicates from what Paris said. He knows of him and who he is, but I think he doesn't really interact with him that much.
So you haven't set up an interview yet.
Well, it's in Japanese, so I mean, if you want to translate, Ken, go right ahead.
Goodness.
I thought you were supposed to be learning Japanese for that.
God, no. I play that one old rock song about Japanese.
Yeah.
How did that one go?
I think I'm turning Japanese. Japanese. I really think so.
I can speak Japanese.
Can you now, Ron? Let's hear it, Ron.
That guy doubled the number of machine language video games for the MC10
overnight.
Pace of a week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how we feel about you, though, Jim. Like, you're the machine that cranks out stuff, and then we got another guy. Yeah, but it doesn't matter. You're still.
Yeah, but you got a
cranking it out.
compiler to work with now too, so you have some opportunities.
Took all the fun away. I'm not doing anything on that thing.
So that you are coming back to Base Code 9 then. Good to hear.
Yeah. Any day now you'll have an avalanche just like that other guy of all of my MC10 programs converted to Basic 09. I promise that.
Would you do it still on the same
That's what we're
VDG
talking.
screen, so it's going to still look the same, just run faster? You wouldn't like redo graphics modes.
I don't know. Yeah.
But we do have, like in Nitrous Ease of Use, we do have VDG screen launch built into the G shell now too, so you don't need any stupid launcher applications.
Yeah.
So.
No, that's all appreciated. I love that stuff. I once made a game in C that used the VDG, and compiled it up, and it's on my distro somewhere. I don't know if it's in your distro, but.
Yeah, I've got too much of your stuff in the distro yet. I do know one guy in our Discord has actually downloaded like your golf game and your football game and a few others there. And there's a few he said, these aren't that good, and skipped them. But a few others he said these aren't too bad, so he kept them on his.
Oh, those were all converted from IBM PC Basic A stuff. Yeah.
Actually, I will mention one other thing. Like we've got the IBM official CJ character font now with extended characters in Ease of Use, has been since 6.0 thanks to Todd Wallace, Lord Dragon. But thanks to the Petsky Robots thing, I've now got the Petsky font from the Commodore PET in there too. So if anyone wants to convert PET games, that font will be in the next version of EOU as well.
Boom.
Tempting.
Petsky.
MC10's faster than the Coco anyway, isn't it? Basic.
Not
it's
Coco
about,
3.
It's about 15% faster than an unaccelerated Coco. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Now, how does it compare with which is the color basic that had the proper rewritten in key string check? The one that checks for the break key separately instead of monitoring every key in the keyboard every 60th of a second. Because that one actually runs faster too on the Coco. But when Microware redid the Coco basic for the Coco 3, they reverted back to the old crappy version. So that speed loss.
Oh, right. You're talking about the difference between the basic between the Coco B. I mean the Coco.
Yeah, it's between 1.2 and 1.3 color basic.
The
key scan routine was
that
optimized
totally
and
messed
actually.
up. I had a whole bunch of Coco games, and they don't run properly because I scan the keys directly, and the Coco 2B doesn't. So I had to add a whole whack load of code to account for that, and then it just slowed the game stall down.
Yeah, they made it better for basic. Like the break key used to have to scan every single row of keys to see if you hit break, and now it just checks specifically for break and gets up quick. So it sped the 1/60th of a second interrupt thing faster in basic in general. So basic ran faster, kind of like the MC10 does, but it did break some older code that was dependent on the old behavior. So I'll just keep optimizing Basic 9. Basic 9, I've got a lot of plans for that. I've got a lot of plans for Nitrous 9 too. Pages and pages, literally, of it. So once Petsky's done and some more manual updates are done, we'll get back onto it.
Who's got more games, the ADG conversions or Jim Gary's?
Jim by far.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think AGD is just about to 300, and Jim, you're well over 500, aren't you?
I've got 200 homebrew games and about 300 conversions, but they're all crap. So I mean, there's no comparison there.
Way to sell yourself.
And who did that River Raid game? Was that
That
you,
was
Jim?
Darren Autry.
No,
Darren Autry with the Greg Dion compiler.
Yeah.
Very
He
good.
did a really nice game recently, even
Dropship or whatever it was?
That one that was called.
Was that Dropship?
Dropship was a great game, and I converted it so that it'll work on a regular MC10 now. But that is a really nicely done little game.
Yep.
Yeah,
we featured that
people
back on the
a
MC10
little
special,
angry here.
Yeah.
But Jim, can you do WeFax on the MC10?
Probably not. No.
Okay, Ron Delvaux said WeFax. Everybody
Yeah,
drink.
it's a drinking game here.
Yep, there we go.
Salute. Salute.
No, you can't get 256 by 192, so on a regular MC10.
Yeah, you have to hack the motherboard to get that to work.
Yeah, it'll have to be.
Or Coco VGA, maybe.
Couldn't you do half a screen at a time?
Can you change your screen pointer? Like you don't have a SAM. Can you actually change where they're?
There's no ability to
you can't page flip or nothing.
What you have to do is cut out a piece of cardboard and cover the bottom third and the top 10th of the screen, and then you can have some high res.
What you have to get is rolls of toilet paper, get a thermal TP10 printer, and just print it all off a chunk at a time, and then just tape them on the wall, and there you go.
There you go.
Half a screen or what, Ron?
Of the capture.
What capture?
WeFax.
WeFax.
Everybody drink.
Ron said WeFax.
That was a good excuse. Good job.
Good job.
I'm gonna drop, guys.
He baited you. I said, okay, Rick, thanks for joining us.
Too much drinking going on for Rick.
Rick, are you still there? Rick, you're still there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know the date yet, but we want to coordinate another
right.
cast and crew Coco Forever thing. So you've been warned.
Sure.
Hopefully you'll be available.
Okay.
Okay.
We'll see.
All right.
I don't have a whole lot going on.
Yeah,
So
you're too kind, Rick.
we're
Thank
probably
you.
good.
Thank you. You're too
All right.
kind.
Well, where are we coordinating this at?
Well, and all the usual. I believe it's in the coordination channel under Discord. So
the uncoordination, discoordination, lack of coordination.
The lack of coordination.
Is that under the group? I can't find the fucking channel.
I wanted to ask Rick if he can make a game with one eye.
Who is NML32?
Oh, what does that sound familiar?
It does sound familiar. I can't put the name to the thing, but we have a request. It says, when are you going to send my stuff back? Sloopy from NML32.
Yes, it's someone I have to send stuff to.
Okay.
Nice.
There you go.
He wants to send you to the pokey with a bad back, will he?
Oh, so Grant's not here. We can talk about Grant, but
the streaming king,
right?
Did anyone here use their Coco much for BBSing back in the 1980s, or was that?
I did.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yep, on the West Coast.
Yeah.
Well, sorry, what was the question? I'm answering Jay's
using your
question.
Coco for bulletin board systems.
I ran one from 83 till 91.
Oh, wow.
On my
I
Coco.
just went to them. I didn't go.
Yeah.
So you had an extra phone line, Curtis?
Yes, in my bedroom.
Yeah, I tried one real early on in the Coco days, but it didn't really do much for me seeing 32 column text at 300 baud. You know, it just wasn't much of an appeal at that time. It wasn't really hooked into the experience. But when I got my Tandy 1000, you had 80 columns and ANSI graphics and all that kind of stuff. That's when I got into BBSs. Because
See,
then
you just didn't get the right BBSs. I mean, the 32 column was a limit, but we had all the semi graphics. We used to load on all these, MC10 splash
yeah, and
screens.
I think
type
I've
thing.
seen some of that too, but I don't know why it didn't.
And
really...
CompuServe supported RLE, which was used by some of the video program or the terminal programs too. So we actually had full graphics.
Yeah, I don't know why. Just seeing slow Coco graphics show up on the tech screen just had no appeal to me at that time. And later on PC BBSing, I got into one. I was running one too. I had a phone line in my room when I lived with my parents. I was running a BBS on my Tandy 1000. I remember we had somebody on there new to Discord or something saying, I ran a BBS back in the day thinking it might help me meet girls or something like that. That's one of the things I said. But
that's an oxymoron, I think.
But honestly, the funny thing is when I ran a BBS, I actually did. Because I was the guy who ran it, so I hit on every alleged female that ever came onto BBS. And I went on
I guess I have to honestly say I did meet some girls, not that they ever wanted to do anything with me or anything, but we did have about 4 or 5 local girls that were on the BBSs all the time.
Yeah.
Melissa was one, Charlene was another. And we had beer bashes, the sysops, which I was one of them too, because one of our sysops worked at the local brewery, and he'd get us a free beer night once a year. And we'd go in for 2 hours to drink all the free beer you want, right straight from the brewery type thing. So they would come out to those because, of course, it was a good way to
free
socialize.
beer.
Yeah, free beer for everybody. So. And 2 of them, one sysop and one of the girls ended up getting married. So I guess it worked for somebody.
No, actually, I had met one that I went on a date with that I just wasn't that into, and then the other one that I met ended up becoming my girlfriend for many years. So all through the benefits of running your own BBS, Yeah.
He was more being a dirty, stinking pirate.
I was the early days of online dating, right? Before you could even upload a fake profile picture, right? So yeah, that's funny. Yeah, I don't know. I never got into BBSing at that time because it didn't work for me. But
yeah, I wasn't even the first Coco BBS in my city. I think I was 3rd or 4th. So,
but
I don't think I got into it till later because I didn't have a modem and they didn't want me hooking it up to the phone line, so it was probably early 90s. But by then I was using like Ultimate Term. So I had 80 columns, and that was better. But by then
I
it was
first
a lot
started
of
using them, I guess, in 82 or Yeah, 82, and then early 82 or late 81, I was hacking onto CompuServe with those CompuServe starter packs and Radio Shack, where you just kind of like rip it open, write down the numbers, and go home.
Oh.
Speaking of that, do you remember what was the one? There was a service that was it Prodigy that had the pseudo. No, there was a new because this was everything was still dial up. But I think it was called Prodigy, and it had like vector graphics. And so the fact that you could sign in and you had the certain client program that would draw pictures, and because before that, being online, quote unquote online, it was all text based. So this Prodigy thing, I think Sears was a partner in it and stuff. And when you got online, it drew graphics on the screen. So the fact that we had a graphical online terminal application was like the world had never seen that before. You know, was that what that was called? Prodigy that did that? I want to say it was.
I'm pretty sure it was Prodigy. That was when Sears helped.
Yeah. So that was the first time we got online, and it wasn't just text. You know, it was like text and graphics, or at least for from my consumer-based experience. Maybe somebody in a mainframe or a terminal maybe had graphics.
Well, technically.
Yeah, yeah. So
actually.
Right. So I thought that was kind of cool. It was not like super over the top graphics. It wasn't bitmaps. It was all vector, like the drawing lines and stars and stuff you could do in BASIC on the Coco. But it was still kind of cool.
Yeah, it's kind of like that Thomas Cherry Holmes project that he's been duplicating in all of the micros now. That does some
FujiNet.
Yeah, FujiNet. Thank you. Sorry, didn't mean to cut you off, Paul.
Any updates on the conversion of Dave, whatever that game is called there you were talking about? The one from the Pet that was
Petsky Robots?
Yeah, Petsky Robots.
So
we're the last 8-bit to have that.
Well, we already showed it on the show. Jay, Cyril, and I are developing it right now. In fact, he's asking me questions about it right now in another window.
I see, very good.
I haven't had a chance to work on it in 2 weeks, but he's got the mapping working now. Like you can pull up the map of the entire level.
Oh.
And he's actually got it running in full color. He just sent me some screenshots that he's sent. Maybe I'll cheat and just show it. I won't even tell him.
No, save it for the show. Save a show. Make it a reveal. Well, this is a version of the show.
This is a show. This is After Dark.
This is a show.
Yeah, this is
We're not the last 8-bit to get it. I don't think the BBC.
Oh no, there's
has
quite a
it.
few other requests.
Well, we're
like, I don't think the OSI has it yet.
We're waiting on the
I
MC10
think mostly
version,
it's just the 6502s that have converted it so far. Are we the first ones outside?
Oh, that's a color map. That looks really good, dude.
Oh, Jay did all that. That wasn't me. I haven't touched it in a couple weeks.
That's a whole color map of the area. That looks really good, man.
Yeah. So right now we just have it overlaying the main one, and then once you're finished looking at it, you just go back to the main. The cool one is actually the Commodore 128, because I didn't realize this. It has 2 video chips, so it can drive 2 monitors simultaneously with different displays. So you can actually play the game on one monitor and have the map on the other monitor.
On the other one.
Yeah.
So not only 2 video chips, but then 2 video outputs. I would take it too, then. Right?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, we can do multiple video outputs, but it has to be the same display. It only changes the palette a little bit. So.
Wow, that's a great job there, man.
Well, thanks Jay for that one. That wasn't me. I had nothing to do with that.
Jay just joined us. Oh, he's on fire, dude. He's exploding. He's pissed at you, Curtis. Look at that. So.
he's gone nuclear. Nuclear.
I thought that was Nick Marenti's there showing off his 0 hour. The symbol there.
Yeah, that is cool.
So that's all Jay's work. That map is all Jay, not me.
Is it hard to convert the 6502 to 6809?
There's 2 levels to that question. Is it easy to convert? Oh, dead easy, because we got so many more registers and stuff. It's god awful easy. The problem is that a lot of the tricks they use to speed up code on the 6502, because it's only got 8-bit registers, is much slower if you just raw translate it over to the 6809, because it has to do everything as 16-bit. So it runs slower. So you actually want it to run better, you have to reprogram a lot of the tables and stuff to work 6809 friendly. You don't have to. I mean, what Jay did the initial conversion, he just did a raw conversion. Right, Jay?
Jay is now he's deafened himself. he's got a little mic, a little line through the headphone icon on his thing there. So
that's illegal in Missouri.
Is that illegal in Missouri? Hey, Tim, how do you get your little watermark down there in the bottom of your video? Are you doing something through...
Oh, I just started using a new program that lets me put it down there. So, boom, there it is.
Boom. You need to update
Yeah, but that isn't the Fabio picture. We need the Fabio
yeah, you
picture
need the
now.
Rockstar Hair version of that bitmap now.
It's close enough.
Close enough, for God's sakes, for the love of
So
God.
seriously, Tim, can you get your sister on for you two to have a dual interview to talk about the sibling rivalry?
Sure, my sister, I haven't asked her yet, but I'm sure she would love to come on one Saturday for the show.
Yeah, because it would promote your show for one, but two, that you two have played Coco stuff since back in the day and in modern times. So
yeah, you guys would have fun talking with her. She's a great sister.
That's awesome. You're only saying that because she's within earshot, right? Or do you actually mean
No,
that?
she's in Florida. She's way closer
okay.
to you right now than me.
Ah.
She's creeping up behind you.
Yeah.
Hey, Curtis.
Yes.
Were you sneak previewing my map?
He did.
You betcha.
I tried to ask him not to.
I went
Jay.
rebel.
Yeah.
I went rebel, and I just said, "This is awesome. I got to show these guys."
We tried to ask him to stop. He just said,
Yeah,
"I'm
he
going
went,
rogue."
listen, reckless
He just
abandon.
went crazy.
No means no, Curtis.
Well, he didn't even ask, so I didn't have a chance to say no. So, not that I mind, it's fine.
It looks really good, Jay.
What do you guys think of the colors? With the
That's
colors
good. It looked like
okay?
a Sierra
Look good.
Online game or something. Looked really good, man.
Okay, I just wanted to make. Basically, I mean, obviously we're restricted to 64 colors. So I was trying to use something that made sense.
Yeah, I'm not going to do the fancy palette shifting tricks in the middle of a scan line.
Come on, let's do some Sockmaster trickery in there. You can do it, Curtis.
No.
Looks a lot more colorful than in the manual.
Yeah, that looks really good.
What happened to Sockmaster? Why doesn't he ever show up to any of these things?
He's been on
He's a
twice,
mysterious
I think.
character.
He's actually been on twice, I think, and he's actually been on our Discord every once in a while when something piques his interest. But he doesn't do too much hobby stuff. He's busy with family and stuff these days in his job, so he just doesn't have the time.
Hey Tim, I've been wondering, what is that? Is in your ceiling there? Is that a kite up there in the corner of your ceiling?
Yes, I have a kite hanging from my ceiling like a 12-year-old.
No, it's cool. Is that like a dragon or something? What is the actual?
Yeah, it's a little dragon.
That is very cool. And you got a boomerang too. Was that a gift from Nick Marentes by any chance? Did he throw that at you?
Oh, I wish.
Mikey.
The boomerang story is kind of interesting. Me and my brother were both Boy Scouts, but he went a lot further. He eventually became
an Eagle Scout.
An Eagle Scout.
Wow, all the way.
And one year he went to a jamboree in Australia, and he brought me back that boomerang from Australia.
Oh, that's cool.
I can do you one better, Tim.
What's that?
I was in Australia, and I got an Australian football and a boomerang.
Oh, wow.
And brought them home. Yeah, if I can remember where they were, I'd pull them out and show you guys.
The funny thing is, I went to Australia. The only thing I brought back was syphilis, so I guess I went to the wrong place. So
I got a boomerang right here.
I got
That explains the long-term brain damage I've been wondering about.
I've got a whole bunch of boomerangs hanging in my closet.
Ruh-roh.
Coat hangers.
Beauty.
Yeah, Jason, we have to get some manufacturing of boomerangs going again. I don't know what's happening with that. I think Mark's the one kind of doing
That's a Mark Overhoser thing, as far as I know.
Yeah, I know. I asked him when he got him going again to let me know, and I haven't heard nothing yet. So.
Yeah, because I know originally, like, Richard was supposed to ship Mark some stuff, and it got lost in the mail. I don't know if that ever got resolved here, but I figure if he just gets schematics, he should be able to start manufacturing it.
Yeah, it's real simple. Just get a circuit board, a soldering iron, put some doohickeys on the thingamabobby, and slap them together and put it in the bag and ship
Yeah,
it,
I'll
right?
even solder them for you, hair free.
Yeah,
David Ladd will do it in the frying pan if we have to.
It
Come on.
won't work, but
I mean, if he has the Gerber files, he could have the boards made. And
what's baby food got to do with this?
Well, I don't think it has anything to do with baby food.
Okay,
But
well, just wondering.
Yeah.
So
that's the files that you have. Those are some of the files you have to send to the board manufacturer to have the boards. I don't know. Yeah, you'd have to talk to him. I don't know. I have a hard enough time making boards as it is.
all right, good enough. Good stuff.
I don't have time getting bored on the show, but
Yeah.
Nobody's
Coco,
drinking.
man.
We've had.
Oh, he
we've
said
had-
we fact.
Ron said we
Oh,
facts.
oh,
Have
fine.
a drink. I mean, like getting David Ladd to say drive wire or grease weasel, right? So,
I gotta go get a
It's
2-4 for that.
Where's David
Started,
Ladd?
That never stops.
he was in the chat earlier.
He's on the TeamSpeak Regulars show on the Amigos right now because he's an active participant.
Oh, he just said DriveWire. Okay.
He just said DriveWire.
He said DriveWire. Okay, take a drink. David said DriveWire.
Is that like a horror show? You say DriveWire 3 times and David Ladd appears? Or something?
Oh, dear God.
Did someone say
Okay,
DriveWire?
So speaking of horror show, what was that thing you recommended, Tim? What was it called? Rubber, which was the deconstruction of the horror genre.
Yeah, Rubber.
And it's
and
on
what
Prime
service
Video.
did we say that was on?
Prime Video.
Amazon.
Oh,
Amazon. And it may or may not
on
be
Horseshit Plus.
It's not on. It could be on Horseshit Plus. It could be. Right.
My brother still gives me shit about forcing him to watch that.
Rubber.
Yeah, even though I thought it was a great movie.
Okay. Now you're not trying. You're not like punking us here, and we got to watch this, and it's literal horseshit. Now this is
No. The Room is horseshit, and I was punking you. I received $5 every time somebody watches it.
You had them watch The Room, Tim. You sick bastard.
No, he warned us it was bad. He warned us it was bad, so he didn't say this.
It's bad. I
It's
went
like
to a
bad,
Riff Tracks event that they riffed that movie live via satellite. And I had a hard time fitting through that piece of shit.
It was bad enough getting through the bad parts, but once you got to the really bad pseudo sex scene, that's when it's like, forget it, dude. I cannot watch this crap any further.
The best part about that film is they ran the same sex scene twice, and he thought no one would notice.
The creepy son's like, oh, I just want to hang out with you guys while you bang each other. You know, it's like, dude, this is so creepy. You're creepy. This movie's creepy. These actors are creepy. Just make it stop. Make it go away.
I was in an audience that there were people actively making fun of this movie, MSTK3 style, and I still could. It was painful.
It was like the fact I think we got about 7 minutes in was way too much. So it was just like,
no, I've seen the whole diarrhea dump. It's hi Dougie.
You're a stronger fortitude than me, sir. I couldn't do it.
Oh, hi Mark. Yeah.
But in all honesty, I do recommend the Dave Franco docu-series on the making of The Room, where he plays Tommy Wiseau. And it's really good, and you learn how that movie got made and why it got made, and it's a really interesting story.
Because Tommy was stupid money for no good reason.
So David Ladd's trying to make his drink again. He said DriveWire ESP 8266-01 and RS232. So everybody take a drink. David's encouraging our alcoholism. So DriveWire. TTL.
How much longer is this going to be? Should I
refill?
Should I refresh my drink?
I don't know how much.
I think we need to refresh our drinks.
Yeah, feel free to refresh your drinks. If those who need to refresh your drink, go ahead and refresh. You want me to run a commercial break while we do that?
Yeah.
Let me find the. Speaking of David Ladd, I'm going to find the commercial break that has David Ladd on it. Where is that at?
The David Ladd story.
Yeah, if you want a movie recommendation for being punked, I can give you one.
You ever want to see a really bad movie? It's called Ryan's Babe, if you can ever find it. I was in it.
Okay, so
I was in the movie, and I have no idea what it was about.
Okay.
It was filmed in Saskatoon.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I might recognize some of the places.
I'm gonna share.
Mostly on the university campus.
I'm going to share OBS to Discord for those who want to hear the audio of the commercial. You won't be able to see it. But we're going to run our commercial break, which includes some David Ladd floppy life stuff. And we'll be back after we drain one container and refill the other. So we'll be back after these words, boys and girls.
Hello, I'm David Ladd. We're watching CoCoTALK, the world's leading live CoCoTALK show.
Good day. This is Nick Marionettes. Crikey. After you buy Gunstar...
Stop right there.
Okay, fine. After you bought Gunstar, go ahead and buy your copy of the Coco Fest edition of...
Nightmare Highway.
It's a quarter of the quality at half the cost.
ESP 8266-01 RS2
RS-232, TTL Wi-Fi network, 4-pin DIN, Bitbanger, DB9, PC IP, DriveWire, DriveWire.
In a world where hard drives rule and floppies are superfluous, one man, one legend, one old fart dared to learn the floppy and took the brunt of jokes. Then all hard drives and SSDs died, but the floppy survived. And the only man who knew floppies became a legend once more. Floppy Life, the David Ladd story. This summer, straight to YouTube.
8-slot MPI, floppy drive, Coco SDC, Sound Speech Pack, Orchestra 90, RS-232 pack, modem pack, Super IDE. You start adding all those together if you want them all usable at the same time. Well, guess what? You just went over the 4-slot MPI. David Ladd. Oh, I'm much happier breaking stuff.
Okay. Doesn't look
All
good
right.
though.
And we're back from break. We got a little David Ladd bonus content there for you for the fans of David Ladd, which there are many.
Except David Ladd himself, apparently, because he said no when you started playing it.
Yes. Oh my. David Ladd. Ooh, David Ladd has got more tidal force than a tsunami. My goodness. Good stuff. It is so fun.
So we could just all sit here and go.
My David Ladd impression is a bad version of Jason's decent David Ladd impression. So I do a worse.
Mine is a pure exaggeration mixed in with a little bit of Bruce Morrow from Cousin Brucey from the impression of him from I think he is or was a DJ on WABC in New York City years ago. So it's like an impression of him mixed in with David Ladd.
Ooh, yes.
Mm-hmm. Ooh, hello, cousins. Ooh.
David Ladd. All right.
David Ladd. Use only is directed.
Use only directed. And if David lasts for more than 4 hours, please consult a physician. So ask your doctor if David Ladd is right for you. Side effects might include greasy.
And if he says yes, get a new doctor.
Side effects
may include mixing water with Diet Dr. Pepper.
An unusual fascination with floppy technology.
David, you're gonna have to come in here and defend yourself soon.
Side effects may include wanting a multi-pack with more than 4 slots.
Instead of defending yourself on the other show there.
Ew. Meow. David said meow.
All right, so we know what movie not to watch. And we have one recommendation for a good movie with Rubber. Anybody else seen anything good lately on movies or streaming or anything else?
I like the new Ghostbusters.
The new Ghostbusters. Yes, Afterlife, right? That was really good. That was actually really, really good. I
wasn't crying. You were crying at the end.
You weren't crying. You didn't cry.
No, it was not me. It was you.
Okay. Okay.
I haven't seen it yet. But...
Yeah, no spoilers. No spoilers. But
I think I know what it is, but I won't spoil it.
It was definitely a proper sequel to the original first movie and a half, right? So and it was done well. It was done in the tradition, and no, I liked it. And I think they've kind of set it up where they could start a whole new series with basically the next generation of young Ghostbusters. You know what I mean?
It's supposed to be a trilogy.
Yeah. So they could definitely set that up where that could happen.
They're supposed to be doing 2 more movies after this. So.
Oh, that's
no,
good news.
I haven't had a chance to catch up on the Ghostbusters thing, but was that actually Ivan Reitman's last thing? Was he involved with this one?
It was his son.
His
but,
son, Jason Reitman.
Jason
directed.
Reitman did it, but he consulted on it.
I believe he was credited as an executive producer, Ivan Reitman.
Yeah, because he just passed away. So
right, he did.
Yeah, so it was done really, really well. There were a lot of kind of fan service and homage, especially to the first Ghostbusters. So there was some kind of poetry in some of the scenes and shots that you saw. But it wasn't like, to give you an example, what was a bad example of doing this was like Star Wars Episode 7, where they had to, they did all the wrong things for what they thought was the right reason. This was done really well, where they kind of mirrored certain things, and it was done properly and not just kind of crowbarred or shoehorned in for gratuitous reasons or for lack of better scripting and imagination reasons. It was done very tastefully, I felt. I felt the whole thing was a love letter to the first movie and to the passing of Ivan Reitman. I just felt that whole thing was just really, it was good.
Can somebody tell me, did anyone ever read the book Ready Player One?
Oh, I listened to it.
I read it.
I listened to the audiobook.
My son told me he read it, and I've never read it, but he told me there was like Coco stuff in that.
Yeah, Dungeons and Dragons features prominently in the book, not the movie.
There's Coco stuff. They had the Coco in the movie too, didn't they? For a split second.
Not that I could remember, but so it was mentioned that
the Coco plays a fairly prominent role. In the movie,
James
in the book.
Halliday, who was the guy who created the Oasis and everything, it was mentioned that his first computer was a Tandy Color Computer 2, and that was what he wrote his first adventure games in BASIC before he created his big conglomerate, Gregorius Games. So his backstory was writing adventure games in BASIC on the Color Computer 2. So that was his backstory, and there's a scene where in order to get one of the Easter eggs, you have to play Dungeons of Daggerath. And they do talk about it a little bit, but they don't flesh it out. But this is where Tim Lindner's line is, hey, I'm playing Daggerath like that idiot from the book, right? So, but yeah, so there is a scene. So Daggerath plays a role in there, but I don't think they really fleshed out Daggerath as much as they did like Zork. Like it was a huge, three-dimensional realization of the Zork game that they kind of played out. And they also did a lot with talking about a Dungeons and Dragons module, which was the first Easter egg that he had to find. So really talking about some of the Gygax stuff and Dungeons and Dragons. So some of that stuff was more fully realized than the Coco stuff was. But if you're a fan of the Coco, the fact it's even in there is good. So I don't think they kind of fleshed out Coco stuff as well as they could have, but it's there.
Well, they fleshed it right out of the movies.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. No, I was listening to the audiobook. I think I was at work, because it's read by Will Wheaton.
Wheaton.
Yeah.
Wheaton.
But I heard Color Computer too. I'm like, what? And I had to back that up. I had a holy crap moment there. I was like, what? I didn't even know it was there. I'm like,
right, and
that's funny.
And an even bigger rub is in Ready Player 2, which is the sequel. The dragon is mentioned briefly because I can't think of the other guy. Not James Halliday, but the other guy, Ogden Morrow, his wife, Kira. So they mentioned that because she's British. They mentioned she had a Dragon 32. And it was mentioned, and that was it.
It was mentioned that it was compatible with the Coco.
Yeah, the second book didn't go.
Cuthbert?
No, Cuthbert. Yeah, Cuthbert didn't do anything. He didn't go to. Yeah, Cuthbert didn't go.
Or
to
even
the mall.
Hungry Horse or somebody.
Yeah, nothing like that. So.
Yeah,
The other
Coco
thing I
was
found weird
mentioned,
about
but it was.
Sorry, the other thing I found weird about the movie, and maybe I just don't remember the book well enough because I read it a while ago, but it seemed like Adventure, the 2600 Adventure, played a much bigger role in the movie than it did in the book. Is that true or not?
Yeah,
okay.
and so
it seemed to me like they almost took the role that Dungeons of Daggerath played and swapped it with Adventure.
Right. I have a feeling some of it probably had to do with being at what they could actually license. Because it's the amount of pop culture that book covers, to be able to get the rights to put all that in one movie had to be a legal nightmare and a financial nightmare. Right, so
they had to rewrite a bunch of the stuff ever talking about Steven Spielberg since he was directing it. He didn't want any of his stuff in it.
Yeah, he wanted a minimal amount of stuff.
Yeah, a minimal amount. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but well, and
there was a lot of rewrites.
Well, that's just any book that's, a screenplay, into a movie. I mean, it's going to be like that.
Why do
Even
they
like
have to
the
get
first-
rights for the movie but not for the book?
Because it's just, I don't know, it's just how it works, right? Because anything
Just text. I mean, you're not showing anything.
Right.
Well, but you're still using the name.
Like
and
you
the
don't
and the
have to
trademark.
you don't have to license what you write about, but you have to license what you show on a screen, right?
I know.
So
Yeah.
royalties or whatever. So, but one thing the movie did do that was from the book, but not the same thing. But so when they kind of showed how that whole acting out of the movie, where they did The Shining. So that one, they gave us a scene that wasn't in the book, but they did talk about in the book the kind of immersive movie experiences you could do in the VR of the Oasis. So they were using like the Ferris Bueller's Day Off and a few things like that, where you had to, or War Games, where you had to do the whole scene properly in order to get the prize. So
the flick syncs,
the flick sync, whatever they call that. Yeah, so they did show a flick sync. So it's like I never used to read books. Because there were like words and stuff in them, but
words are hard.
Yeah. But so I was the person who saw the movie, and I was happy enough to see the movie. And then you hear all the people saying, "Hey, well, the movie's not as good as the book, and the book is so much better." And you wanted to say like that freaking meme where Batman's smacking Robin like, "Shut up," right? So you kind of want to do that, but then when you start listening to some of these books, so because I spent a lot of time in the car, I'll listen to audiobooks, and now I hear the books. And I can see where they're coming from, but I also realize that film is such a different medium. You've only got so much time to tell a story.
Whenever somebody says, "Well, the movie's not as good as the book," well, it's not going to be.
Right.
How long did it take you to read the book?
Right.
Yeah, you need a mini-series, not a movie.
But think about this too. What if the movie did cover everything that was in the book? Then there was nothing unexpected too. You just saw the visual version of
Everything
the
you read.
book you read, and so you kind of do want to have some differences, right? Just
Because even if you go back, you go back and read. I don't know if anybody's ever done this, but I'm enough of a geek that I have. But if you go back and read like the Episode 1 Star Wars book, which was written after the movie,
right?
Even that book is more detailed than the movie because you just can't do it in the time, you know.
Right.
So anytime anybody says that, I'm like, well, yeah, of course.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's where streaming can sometimes do a better job, because you're not limited to the hour and a half or the 2.5 hour thing. You can do a whole series with 8, 10, 12, 13 episodes or whatever. But even like, let's take Dune for example. One of the biggest sci-fi novels. They've tried to do all these movies. Now they have the new Dune movie that's going to be done in 2 parts. But Dune is a story that's so big, I don't think you can capture the essence of everything in cinema, because there's so much. I was trying to explain to somebody, it's like there's so much stuff that's dealing with like politics and religion. There's all this Jesus-y stuff going on with the Quetzalcoatl Haderach and all this stuff, that there's so many layers of things going on there, that how can you visually portray all the politics and religional under and overtones and side tones that are going on in this sci-fi epic? It's really hard to do. So,
well, having not seen it, has any of you seen Foundation, like based on Asimov? Is that any good as a series?
I don't know. I didn't even know that was out there.
Has it come out yet?
Yeah, it came out. It's on Apple TV.
Wow, I've read the books, but not the. With Dune, the first Dune movie from the '80s, if I hadn't read the books, I would have been. I could see why it didn't do well, because I would have been completely lost without the books, because it was just so much that wasn't explained.
Yeah, I
at
remember
all.
when I watched the Dune movie, I walked out and I was like, I just wasted like 3 hours.
Well,
of my life.
I was like 12 years old, and my friends and all we kept doing was making fun of how everybody kept whispering in the movie, like, the spice, the spice, and everybody's like thinking and whispering what they're thinking, and they're all this inner monologue stuff. We didn't completely grasp it all, but we just made fun of the fact there was so much like whispering going on in this movie, so.
To be honest, that's how I felt about 2001: A Space Odyssey the first time I saw it, because if you hadn't read the book, and actually the first time I saw it, I had not read the book yet, and I
haven't
had
either.
no idea what the hell was going on.
Matter of fact, ironically,
that's another pet peeve I have, is you should not have to read a book to be able to enjoy the movie.
I enjoyed it. I mean, the
be
effects
able
were
to
awesome.
stand alone.
Yeah,
and being stoned really helped too. But it didn't help the plot.
Well, it is a really slow movie.
It is, but visually, because I was watching that in the hotel room this past weekend. I was watching it on HBO, and Yeah, the visual effects in 2001
It still hold up.
Still hold up.
Made in the 60s,
and the things they predicted with the shuttles and the space stations and tablets and video phones and all of these things that were in there. You watch it now, it doesn't look like the crappy. It doesn't look dated. It just looks like, oh my god, yeah. How did It looks like, dude, they got it right. They figured everything out. So
$20 for a pillow.
So Stevie, if you don't like text, what's your position on text adventures?
I love text adventures.
He wants the speak and spell version, is what.
Yeah, no.
Stevie's writing a text.
I'm working on an adventure game engine right now. So those were my first games on the Coco. Was like Pyramid and Racket 2 and things like that. So no, that's what got me into the Coco was the text adventure, because I looked at that as like a single player version of Dungeons and Dragons where you had to use your imagination and stuff. So I love text adventures. What's the old saying that the greatest GPU in the world is the human mind, right? So it's like
Infocom's tagline.
Yeah. Really? I somehow
Unfortunately, in my case, it's mostly X-rated versions of adventures.
I loved the adventures on the Coco growing up, but Madness and the Minotaur almost had me abandon them forever.
And Keys of the Wizard, both of those.
We tried doing a live stream of that game, and it's unplayable. It is even if like looking shit up on the internet, it's just an unplayable game.
It's all in the pit.
Yeah.
Curtis, did you find my Galactic Hitchhiker conversion text adventure?
You've done so many, I don't know which ones I've watched. Was it number 142 or 177? I don't remember.
I don't know. It was a couple of weeks back, but
if it was a couple of weeks, I probably did then.
Okay, that was a fun little text adventure because it's playing off of Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. And
well, that would be good then, yeah. Because I like the Hitchhiker's book series, the original radio series, not the redone one. And...
Yeah. Well, this captures it, kind of the whole. I don't know, the whole feel of the book series in a 16K little adventure that fits.
Yeah, who's streaming right now? Timbo Tech is streaming something. What are we got going on here? We've unleashed the world's most powerful graphic technology, Infocom, right? The human brain, right? So look at that. And
since we can't do it, let your brain do it.
That's right. Fill in
and
the
then
blanks.
A few years later, they made graphic adventures like everybody else.
Yeah, right?
Yep.
Well, at least he's not streaming The Room. That steaming ball of feet.
It has its place for getting your friends drunk and making them watch it for money.
It's kind of like watching Eraserhead when you're stoned. It's kind of the same experience, I'd imagine.
One of the new phrases I've learned by playing the Cyberpunk game is a great little catchphrase. Is it's a turd wrapped in crepe paper, and I like that phrase.
Turd wrapped in.
Actually, one of the things I'm looking forward to is you guys had Glenn Dahlgren on a few weeks back, and listened to his audiobooks.
Yeah.
If he does anything with that content for the Coco, that'd be pretty nice.
Have you listened to both of them?
I did the first one, which was the God of War.
Oh, God of War, which is the prequel, right?
The prequel.
Yeah.
And I love that one. And then I'm in the first book, which is now the second book.
The Child of Chaos.
Yeah. He's already got the third one kind of well underway.
Yeah. So I'm about midway through that. I like the God of War better, only because I feel in this book that there's a lot of characters and it's tough to follow at times. What exactly is going on, but I'm doing audiobook as well. So.
Yeah. And he does a really good job being his own narrator. He's able to create characters and voices and stuff and certain archetypes. And so
big welcome, by the way. I just saw this in the chat. TJ Ferreira, the guy who was the over-exuberant one with the MC10.
Oh, hey, TJ.
He's in there.
Yeah.
Welcome, TJ. You should join in on the panel, too.
If you're on Discord.
Give David Ladd a run for his money.
Yeah. Excitement.
Yeah.
Never a boring watch, I will say that.
Yeah. No, I got hooked on audiobooks because I'm spending more and more time, driving around to different job sites and stuff. And I think it's good because I always get the unabridged because I want to hear the whole thing. And it's kind of cool. Not only do you get the story, but hopefully if you've got a good narrator that really sells it, that really helps too,
Absolutely.
And where I felt like Will Wheaton did a great job on Ready Player One, I listened to the re-release of The Martian by Andy Weir, also read by Will Wheaton, and he really phoned a lot of that in. There was you couldn't tell one character from the next. The accents were horrible. There's no difference between male and female characters. The opposite of that was, I don't know if you guys know who Rosario Dawson is. She's a hot Puerto Rican chick from the Netflix series, stuff like that, and she also plays Ahsoka Khan now on the thing. So she did the one called Artemis from Andy Weir, and she did so many different characters and voices and accents. And this was a female doing male characters. It's really hard for a male narrator to do female voices and not sound like really bad at it. Sounding like fake, because you are faking it. But she could fake the male voices and different accents, and she did like a guy from Norway, and she played like a Armenian and all kinds of stuff. So she did a really good job, not only playing different characterizations but different accents and dialect and stuff. So it was really cool. African, Kenyan accents and stuff. So she did a really good job on that. So what is TJ saying? Day is simmering down, so I thought I would check out some CoCoTALK. Well, this is the next best thing to CoCoTALK. This is drunken CoCoTALk, right? So
yeah, After Dark.
Drunken CoCoTALK.
And we're at the dark part at the bottom of the glass.
Where's?
Okay.
Every time you mention CoCoTALK, you have to take a drink.
That's it, CoCoTALk.
It's Kahooven, yeah.
CoCoTALk.
Yeah, but we lost Ron, didn't we?
Yeah, we don't have any Wii facts here, but we can get RS-232, TTL. Drivewire.
Straight from the satellite.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Well, another thing, if you guys have Amazon Prime Video, the John Reacher series.
That's excellent.
We're called Reacher. Oh God,
yeah,
that was
Reacher.
good. That was like
way better than
that was like
Tom
opening
Cruise
a
movies.
tube of Pringles. Like my wife and I, we started watching episode 1. We were up till 1 a.m. We just binged the whole thing because you could not stop watching that.
That's what I did too.
That guy is huge.
He is, but see,
he's actually really good in Titans. Also.
Yeah. He played the Hawk dude in Titans.
Hawk.
Yeah, he played Hawk in Titans, and that's the first time I saw him. But apparently, he also played Hawkman in Smallville. He did a Hawkman in that one, which I never watched Smallville. My wife had watched it, but I'd never seen it. So, so apparently he did something in Smallville, and then he played Hawk in Titans, which was really good.
Yeah, Titans was surprisingly good. It was actually back to the old Marv Wolfman. Who's the artist? Just blanking him.
Yeah.
But when Marv Wolfman resurrected the new Teen Titans back in the 80s, I mean, they followed that pretty close with changeling stuff. A bit darker.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That was good. Yeah. I didn't become I wasn't a fan when they rebooted all the DC stuff, starting with the Superman and all that stuff. I wasn't a fan at first of the new generation of DC live action. But
you mean like the Arrowverse thing with Arrow?
No, I've never even watched that. My wife watches that. Okay. I haven't seen that. But the movies. So the Superman. What was the new Superman? Man of Steel. Right. When that movie first came out, I watched it. I was like, I don't know. I wasn't that into it. But then, I seen Superman, I saw the Batman one, whatever. But when Titans came out and I saw that, I'm like, oh, this is good. This is good live action DC. And then I started rewatching stuff and I kind of got an appreciation for it, especially the Snyderverse ones where the Zack Snyder Justice League 4-hour one. That was actually really good. So, I'm now a fan of DC live action. I wasn't buying it at first.
Yeah, the Arrowverse is pretty good. It's got some good stuff in there too. Just to mention, TJ says here, funny, I watched some of your earlier show today, and now you're 8 hours later, you're still on. Haha, you're like Energizer Bunny drunks. Which is probably the most accurate description of us I've ever heard.
There you go.
We try.
Absolutely fueled. We're fueled by WeFax. And
WeFax.
And Drivewire.
And floppy disks.
And CoCoTALK. Salute. Yeah, so Reacher's good. If you haven't seen that, that's definitely a good watch.
You'll completely binge it. If
You can't stop watching it. You can't. So
I really enjoyed that Korean show.
Reacher.
Which Korean show was that?
Reacher. I don't even know
her. Squid Games.
Squid Games.
Yeah.
I heard
it
good things. It
deserves the praise it gets. It's really good.
Okay, I've heard nothing
I see
but
Paul
good
shaking
things.
his head.
Yeah.
Squid Games is the modern version of Death Race 2000.
It's a tough watch at times, but it's really good.
Okay. Is it dubbed in English or is it just subtitles? It's all.
It's dubbed.
It's dubbed.
And
dubbed or subtitles.
And sometimes that's hard to watch too because the dubbing kind of takes you out of it.
Bad. It's not that bad.
No, okay.
Dubbing takes you out of it.
I see what you did there.
You must flee.
Yes.
What service is this on?
That's on Netflix. Squid Game.
Oh, okay. It's not on Horseshit Plus.
It's not on Horseshit Plus. No, that's a premium service.
Pay extra for that.
Horseshit. Remember when we had what was it, Dinty's Hideaway when we had him on because he had interviewed.
Oh yeah, when he's interviewing
John Roach was it? He's like, yeah, I met that Bill Gates guy and I told him we're not gonna fall for none of that horse shit here in Texas. All right, you take.
Has anybody watched Dinty's new videos?
No,
like of Computer Chronicles, and he has 2 new videos out that I haven't watched yet.
Okay,
I haven't lately.
They aren't Coco specific or Radio Shack specific.
Okay.
One is about Computer Chronicles and the other is about something else, which I don't remember. But I've been meaning to watch them.
Okay. Well, Jason, you got to meet Stuart Chaffee, did you not? From
I did at the
Tandy Assembly
in 2019. Yeah. I got that's my picture on Zoom is picture with Stuart.
That was a cool show. I mean, if you were a fan of computer technology back, especially like in the late 80s, early 90s, there just wasn't enough content to scratch your itch with. So whatever you could get, you ate it.
And he wasn't platform centric. He covered everything. The Coco was in there multiple times. For
a lot of Tandy, TRS-80 stuff. They covered all kinds of stuff. Yeah, that was a cool show.
And the cool thing is that's out there on YouTube. They put it all out there on YouTube. It's available for free.
Oh wow.
I got to indirectly ask him a question through. I think Lou Laporte on Twit was interviewing Stuart on one of his interview shows. I can't remember which one it was, about an hour and a half long or whatever. But he actually asked one of my questions on air, so I got to indirectly meet him, I guess.
Good stuff. Well, do we need to put a fork in this, or are we going to keep this train going? We could sit here and we-fax all night till our livers fall out.
Oh, we-fax.
We-fax. Oops, I said we-fax.
We-fax.
A couple
I have
inches
to get
of
a refill
alcohol.
before I can do that.
Oh, I'm empty. If we're gonna continue, I gotta get more.
Yeah. Well, Al Hartman is not here to take us down the Star Trek vortex, but I did read somewhere recently that I believe J.J. Abrams is going to do a
yeah, I just saw that too. It's back on.
a fourth Star Trek film with all the cast that's still surviving. We lost Chekhov, right? And I forgot his name, but but all the cast will get back for a fourth Star Trek. And I thought those were good when they rebooted Star Trek and brought the cast in.
It took me a while to get used to. It was a little bit too different. I didn't like the whole alternate timeline thing. Like I've been with Star Trek since
right
kid in the 70s, so I had this whole canon already built in that this was breaking it all. But I got used to it after a while. The alternate timeline.
Well, what I thought was good was they recreated the characters and a lot of the chemistry, especially between like Kirk and McCoy. That was and Spock. I mean, Spock was a great.
Bringing Nimoy in for that transition, that really helped me. That kind of solidified it then.
Yeah.
And Carl Urban as the Doctor was great.
Oh, yeah.
The best part of those.
He did. And so some of that banter was great, So are you out of your Vulcan mind, So it was just like... and those are some of the best lines, It's just... I was having a conversation with somebody recently about that, where start the original series obviously is the classic, and you can't deny that was original, and there's so many good things about it. But I can look back now and look at the Next Generation and say, you know what, the Next Generation was actually a better version of Star Trek, but it just wasn't the original. I mean, because they took
after season 1.
It got better. The first season was
right, but they actually made that whole series around the Prime Directive, and the Prime Directive was an actual thing that they adhered to. Where with Kirk was like, you know what, these people are just a bunch of assholes. Fuck it, we're going to do it how I think it needs to be done. The Prime Directive was
he was a captain. He took control. That's what I liked about the original. He wasn't some wussy. Oh, do you think we should do this? Yeah, screw that noise. I'm just doing it.
Like, for God's sakes, you guys are a bunch of idiots. Come on, just get your shit together. It's just like that was Kirk.
And you guys watched the Enterprise series?
No, I didn't.
I've watched it.
Star Trek
did.
Enterprise. I liked
Yeah,
that a lot.
well,
Anybody else watch it and like it?
Oh yeah, I like
I
that.
liked
it was
it.
good.
I liked it a lot, actually. I
It
thought
was like
pretty good.
early days.
It's like the
It's
first
just when they
functional
invented the warp
Starfleet.
drive and
Yeah,
stuff.
NX,
The last
NX-01's it's basically NX-01 is like the first ship that
Prototype.
that Earth has to go into outer space. They can go warp 5 and they basically go out. They're like the first Earth vessel to go out into space and do what they do in Star Trek, basically.
Yeah, and it's just
it's
like all the
pretty good.
last
speed
episode
bumps
was
they
awful.
hit. Yes, it ended poorly.
Yeah, well, I think they
Ended
cut the
very
cord
poorly.
on it before they were expecting it to be cut, which is a shame because I thought it was a good series.
Yeah, I like that one too, actually.
What I don't like about some of the new stuff, like the Star Trek Discovery, which is the newer series, there are things about it that you like, but I think they're more concerned about pleasing modern audiences with visual effects. And there's so many continuity breaks, and how is it that a film that takes place a few years before the original series, where their technology is so much more better. Obviously, the visual effects are going to be better, but they don't even try to create visual continuity or technological continuity. It's just things that happened in the past are so much more advanced than what they happen later on. I don't like it when they do things like that.
Or they're meeting species that they make first contact with in the future. Like
yeah. So there's a lot of continuity.
Yeah, it's another
breaks.
alternate timeline, basically, is what it is.
So
Well, you almost have to do that if you're going to do anything different because
right, and the way they changed the Klingons for that and everything else, and so it was just like And
I do like the joke in the Next Generation where he asked, "Well, what happened to the what happened to the ridges?" Like, "Oh, we don't like to talk about that."
that was Deep Space Nine.
Oh, was that
where
Deep Space
they
Nine?
had the episode
Yeah.
where they went back in time to the Trouble with Tribbles episode.
Okay.
Yeah, it's where they used the original footage and they linked it all in.
Yeah.
That was a good one.
They linked it all in, and they had Cisco and everybody talking to Kirk. And
Well, on Enterprise, there was this couple of episodes where the ridges were where they originated.
They
It was a
originated?
virus where they originated.
Yeah, how they actually got the
Yeah, it was like a virus or something.
Yeah, because apparently, according to if you get into the mythos of the Klingons, and not that I'm an expert, but what I've heard about it and read about it is like the Klingons race first came into when they first were recognized as a race, they didn't look hardly anything like they do in the series. But the ridges and
in the original, they were very Hispanic looking.
Yeah.
Yeah, they look like.
Well, I'm just
they
saying.
look like
I'm saying
Vulcans.
if you read about what
Yeah.
they say, like if you read about what they say, the genesis of their race is, they were fairly humanoid to start with, and then, through different mechanisms they changed over time.
Much like David Ladd. So
That's faster evolution, though.
He was humanoid at one point in time in his history. And
Not sure if you guys are crossword puzzle fans, but last week, New York Times, they trolled the sci-fi community. Anybody?
Oh, the double answers that worked out.
I saw that.
Star Trek and Star Wars.
The clue across was the better of the two space franchises.
Oh.
Star Trek and Star Wars fit.
Yeah. But they had several questions that actually linked together
That's
that
right.
all you could do an answer from either series and it worked.
That's right.
That was really cool.
It was really cool. how they
Very
did
talented. Very talented.
Yeah, they talk about wording, right, and wordles and stuff. That's
They pay like $10,000 for people that submit them and they use them, like per word
Whole
per
grids?
word cross.
I have no idea.
Wow.
Could be.
I seen a girl on YouTube talking, but she's like 12 years old, and like she just had this thing for making crosswords, and she finally submitted one to New York Times that they took, and they asked her, did you make any money from it? And she says, yeah, 10,000. So they
Holy
pay
crap.
at least $10,000 for it, yeah,
And the
or at
wrong
least for
business.
hers.
It's a lot of work.
Oh yeah, especially if it's good, and hers supposedly she's really good at it. So.
yeah, because you got to use like spell check and stuff to do that, right? So.
Yeah, words are hard.
Yeah, you would piss a lot of people off if you spelled one of those words wrong.
That's the only way I can make it work, man.
What do you mean?
Take the
Eight
wordle
letters?
answer from a bunch of days and make a.
What do you mean Flibbledurg isn't a word?
That's how do you spell that?
Phonetically and carefully.
All right. Shall we put a fork in this?
Probably.
This was good. This
It
is
sounds like he wants to go.
Well, I'm just asking. I don't know. I'm surveying the audience here, surveying the panel.
I'm on the West Coast, so I can go for
11:25 Florida time.
It's only
I'm working
8:25
a game
Tim
and
Lindner
watching
time.
or listening.
Well, Nick
so.
just came back in, so we have to stay.
Oh, Alan's here. We gotta go.
We gotta go.
Well, you guys can keep this going in Discord all night if you want, but maybe I'll just end the stream here for the.
Is Mr. Morantes going to say
you're
anything?
streaming? I didn't even know that. Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah. But no, it was. We have not done an After Dark in a while, and usually I can't stay awake this long, so I'm glad I was able to hang out this whole time. This was good. I don't know if we need to do it all the time, but I think we should do it when it seems appropriate.
A little bit more regularly than we have the last year now.
I don't think our livers could do it all the time.
Right.
No.
But this is
Hey, listen, everything in moderation. So you need
Yeah,
to
yeah.
need to test the liver once in a while, make sure it's working. So that's all
Do
right.
this we should do this again another 50 or so episodes.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Actually, thanks to everybody for the 250th episode too. That was fun.
Yeah, that was good.
Oh. Yeah, I spent $3 on these little mini balloons. So
Yeah, make sure you cover the budget for that, Stevie.
Oh, yeah.
I'll put that in my expense report.
Remember, send the canary copy to accounting. The white copy goes to finance, and then the pink will go to the circular file. Right, so
or a P-mode palette for a dragon game, one of the two.
Right to Nick's trash can.
Yeah. Ooh, oh my.
Right to Nick's
I don't want
trash
no
can.
trash in my trash can.
Ooh.
Well, I am going to figure out how to share here again. Yeah, so there are some subtle things with there are some things about doing this on Discord. So doing it on Discord makes it easy for anybody to join, but there are some things that I can't do with like sharing sound where you guys can hear it and a few things like that. But I think this worked as a good experiment. But I am now sharing once again the thing so you guys in the panel can hear it. I'm going to play the outro music to the show, and then we're going to press the button and end the stream. I want to thank everybody who's been with us live this evening. Coco Man, Jeremy Landry, Curtis Boyle, 8-Bits in the Basement. Sarah was here earlier. David Craker was here, and Rick Adams, Canadian Retro Things, and Keith Clark, and Mr. James Diffendaffer. Tim Lindner was out there. Paco Atakte, a.k.a. David Ladd. Coco Burnin, who's Steve Powell, and Jeremy Landry, and who else? Other people. You know who you are. And Coco
Both
Man,
of them.
And Grant Leedy came by to troll us saying, who are all these losers? And Buck Owens was here. And,
He's just projecting.
NML32.
TJ Ferreira.
Mark Kohler and TJ Ferreira was here. And so many more. Auntie Ann was there. Nick Marotta was on the panel, but I'm just kind of thanking the audience. And yeah, it was
It's
so
kind of blurring together. Was Marlon Lee on the first show or on the second?
Marlon Lee was on our day show. It was in the chat on our day show. So yes, there you go. So thanks for those who have been hanging out with us watching. Thanks who are still in the panel. Canadian Retro Things and Coco Man and Jim Gary and Curtis Boyle and Mark Bosley, myself, Paul Fiscarelli, Rick Eulin, Jay Cyril, Timbo Tech, aka Tim Lindner, Sloopy Malibu, Nick Morantes, and we had Nick. It was so good to see Nick Marotta. We had not seen Nick Marotta on camera in a while, so he joined us. Could not have made our celebration any better.
He's so dreamy.
Oh, he is. He is. So I'm going to run the outro. If you want to hear the outro while I do it live, we'll do it live. And if not, thanks, guys, for watching. So here we go. Cue the outro. The Coco After Dark Orchestra, as headed by David Ladd, Schaefer, and the CoCoTALK Band. Here we go. All right, this has been another episode of CoCoTALK After Dark, brought to you by Pall Mall Cigarettes. We encourage you to smoke cigarettes when you are pregnant, breastfeeding, and nursing at all times. And also by Coco Crunch cereal and other fine products. So thank you so much for watching live from the CoCoTALK studios in Burbank, California. We want to thank David Ladd and the CoCoTALK Orchestra. Our producer, John Schliver, whatever. There you go, I'm making shit up right now. It's all good.
Working well, Steve.
Yeah, Merv Griffin production.
This has been a Merv Griffin production. There you go. There you have it. Don't forget to drink your Ovaltine, boys and girls. All right, we're going to press the button in 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi. Say goodbye, everybody.
We
Bye, everybody.
We facts. We